All right. What's good? What's good? What's good? Hope everybody's doing well this fine, fair morning in the build. What's going on? Adrian Vent in the building. What's going on, man? Valley, what's happening? Um, Leon King, what's going on, man? How you feeling, man? Good morning to you. Alden Johnson, what's happening, man? Keith Pierre in the building. What's good? Cadillac 634, Mike Rhyme, HMC3, what's good? Will Wright, DJ OC in the building. What's happening with you, man? Be easy. What's good? Cornelius Burnett. What's happening, man? Big Ray in the building. What's going on? One body in Yahweh, Los Angeles. What's going on, man? Uh, Platinum out. Excuse me. Blah, 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 blah. Platinum alkaline water. What's good with you guys, man? So, man, hey, anyway, I just want to talk this morning, man. I don't know how long I'm going to stay on this morning, man, because I'm kind of on the tired side. Stayed up last night, man. Had a good time on YouTube. Great time on YouTube last night, man. Listening to people argue. Listening to people argue, man. So wanted to give my shout out to KO Boxing 86. That was very interesting, man. I enjoyed myself. I was only in there for a little bit. I was only in there for a little while, man, but I enjoyed it a lot. Natty Dread, what's going on? Big Block in the building. What's good? But it did bring up a very interesting points, man. Interesting conversation about, at the end of the day, who really is the most credible? He said, I heard T.O. ducking Regis. Let me tell you something, man. Of course, he better duck Regis. Gun-toting Democrat in the building. What's going on, man? How you feeling, man? How you feeling? What's going on? Ashley's Corner. What's going on, sister? How you feeling? How you feeling? How you feeling? So, look, man, I'm going to put – hey, man. Oh, man, that was so fun. That was so fun listening to cats argue, man. Big George in the building, 850. What's happening with you, man? But we're going to get to it in a minute, man, because there's a hands-down winner in this one. Man, there's a hands-down winner of that one. And I'm telling you, man, there is hands down who the king of cap is most definitely Devin Haney. Man, what is going on, man? What's going on, Dwayne Andrews? How you feeling, brother? Shots fired. Hey, what do you mean? Now, look, dude, here's the thing. I'm telling you, the king of cap is Devin. I listened to, dude, first of all, the king of cap is Devin. By leaps and bounds, bro. Get out of here. Nah, brother. Nah, brother. Nah, brother. Nah, brother. Nah, bro. Nah, man. Nah, man. Nah, man. And notice, I am just using my own phrasing. Who is the king of cap? Between the two of them, it is 100% Devin, bro. And I will explain to you why it was without a doubt Devin. It is nowhere close competition in that one, bro. Nah, man. The king of cap is Devin, bro. And let me explain to you just really briefly. I'm going to wait for people to get on. Honey, waiting on Spence announcement is usually a good thing. Did you listen to the debate with BFTB and Boxiana? I heard it. Yeah, I did. But I don't want to address their debate. I don't want to do that. Because I was listening, man, because I wanted to know what the format that they were using, because you guys kept asking me to go over there. So I listened to the format, and I like the format. There's a couple things, though. There's a couple things that they should probably add to it, so that you can get to the truth. You know what I mean? So you can really get closer to the truth. I'm kind of in it for the truth of the matter. You know what I mean? Less for kind of like the judging the technique of people and how they go about debating. I think you should you need to have definitions for certain things. Okay? Like definitions that you can agree upon, right? So say, for example, you say, who is the greater cap? You got to define that. Do you mean who has lied the most or who has lied the worst? But in the case in the case of Gervonta and Devin, it's Devin in both scenarios. It's Devin's team in both scenarios. The greatest lies and the most. You know what I mean? Oh, they take it hands down, bro. To have truth, two must agree. No, that's no. Look, this is how it goes. First of all, you have to have a rule, right? You have to have a rule. When you say, who is cap? You have to say, what is the rule? How do I know if somebody's cap? How do I know if somebody's not cap? Right? And you have to define the rule for them so that everybody has a clear understanding of who is proving their point the best. Right? Who has the rule? You have the rule. Then you apply your facts to the rule. And then you draw a conclusion, right? You have the issue, whether or not the dude who's the issue. Is Devin Haney or Gervonta Davis the greatest duck? or greatest cap? What is the rule? The person that gets caught lying the most is the most cap, right? And then you look at the facts, but also you need to do this too. Everybody has to have access to the same facts. So it's unfair for me to say, list facts that you don't know. You have to tell both parties have to have access to the same evidence. Because when you're saying facts, you're providing evidence, right? So in order to be fair, I have to know what your evidence is. Otherwise, I can just say anything, right? Otherwise, I can just say anything. We have to agree on what the rule is, and we have to know what each other's facts are ahead of time. Otherwise, you're at like you can get capped to. You can get capped to. You know what I mean? So, greatest lie ever told, Bill Haney, coach of the year. No way. No. Yeah, you got to have the same. Everybody has to have the same facts, and the facts have to be agreed upon. You know what I mean? Or you have to at least know what you're going to say. That's why you usually have like a little brief or something. Somebody got to write down, okay, I'm going to say that this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, and this happened. Right? So I'm going to give you Gervonta Davis lied about this. 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 In 2020, he said this. In October of 2016, he said this. In October. So you got to understand what all of that stuff is so that you know when you're listening to somebody that the other person is able to know what it is you're going to say. Not what you're going to say, but what your facts are, right? That's the only thing where I would say, yeah, man, that's a really, really good conversation. But if you're trying to get to the truth or as close to the truth, right? Because that's what any type of debate really should be. Like it should be who convinced me that their statement is true, or who convinced me that I should believe their point. So it really doesn't so at the end of the day, do you convince somebody that Gervonta Davis is the bigger cap? Did you convince somebody that Devin Haney is the bigger cap? But all in all, man, it was really fun to listen to. It really was. I enjoyed it a lot. I understand why y'all like that so much. I'm glad I listened to it. Shout out to Knockout Boxing 86 TV. That was really good. It really, really was. But like I said, I'm not getting into who won and who didn't win and all that. BFTB is a makes very solid, very persuasive arguments. Boxiana makes persuasive arguments, and all of that stuff is all good and all fine and dandy. You know, it's all good. Anthony Forbes in the building. What's going on, man? Plain here said Bill and Devin are frauds, nothing but undisputed challengers in most. Nah, I mean, look, he's a champion. That's the truth. He's the truth. That's the truth. You know what I mean? That's the truth. That is the truth. The truth of the matter is the truth of the matter. He says, so in other words, it was a form of a pop quiz in ways. Nah, look. No, I don't want to look. It was very entertaining. It was very entertaining, and I liked it a lot. It was very entertaining, and I liked it a lot. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It was entertaining, and I liked it a lot. But it did, in listening to it, I had to judge for myself and say, not who won a debate, because that's, you know, like I said, that's the rules over there, and that's the rules you play by. Those are the rules you play by. For me, I know who the biggest duck is. I'm not the biggest duck because I don't think any of them are duck. But I have a rule for that though. I'm going old school. We know who the captain after the actual. I'll say we know who is capping after the actual fight. Now we know who's capping right now. We know who's not telling the truth right now. That's not a question. Devin Haney, because Devin Haney said that he would fight. Not just about Tank. He had a fight scheduled. Like, I would make this argument. He had a fight scheduled against because I'm going to name the stuff where I believe what he said is not true. Like, you have a fight already scheduled with Yuriorkis Gamboa. If you have a fight already scheduled with Yuriorkis Gamboa, you cannot have a fight with Gary Russell Jr. at the same time. Seeing as he was, and then I saw the agreement that he sent, so there was no fight date on it. There was no fight date, there was no location, there was no network. I have the agreement in my email. So to say that he offered him that he sent a term sheet for a fight is not true. I know that's not true. So that's one that I know is not true. The second thing that I know is not true. I know that he could not fight Devin Haney. He could not fight Gervonta Davis in December. Why do I know that? Because he said it himself. He said he was capping. When he went back and forth Devin Haney went back and forth with Steven Espinoza. He said that he could fight in December and after his fight with George Kambosos. And Steven Espinoza said to Devin Haney on Twitter, your boss, your promoter may have something else to say about that. Right? And then after that, he said he was just capping about fighting in December. So that is a fact that I know he was capping there because he said himself he was capping. Right there. So I know he capped. That is a guaranteed 100% cap because he admitted to it. Second, when he said that he was not going to fight, that the fight with George Camp, the second fight with George Kambosos was not done. That's cap because Bob Arum already had announced the fight. That's cap. That is absolutely not true. That you are not going to fight George Kambosos in the second fight because we already knew that he had a rematch clause. Let me also tell you, what about Cap? His father on my channel said that Devin didn't know who he wanted to fight. So the fact that he said he wanted to fight Gervonta, and the fact that his father said on his channel that he didn't know who he wanted to fight, one of those two things are not true. And since we all knew that he already had a fight with George Kambosos, any call out of Gervonta Davis for a fight next is cap. Right? It has to be. It has to be. Has to be. It's not a course of candies, because two things that cannot be true at the same time, one of them is false. If false and cap are synonymous, then one of those things have to be cap. Correct? Correct. So I have literally, now watch this on the other side. So you people say, and respect to everybody, it's all love, because I hear it in my chats. Well, what about when Gervonta said that he wants this guy next? Well, he didn't fight him next, and he said he wanted him next. So that means he's cap. No, it does not mean that he is cap, because both things can be true at the same time. You can both say, I want the fight, and not get the fight at the same time. Those two things are not necessary. That's not necessarily untrue. That's not necessarily untrue. If I say, hey, I want to do this, it's time to do this, but it doesn't happen, that doesn't mean I'm lying. Does it? But see, now look, Remy Ogun. See, now here's the problem. Gun-toting Democrat. You say liar. Remy Ogun says BS. Well, cap, if you say it's just something you don't believe, that's different than it being a lie. A lie is when you say something that you know is not true. If you just say it's BS, that's just something you don't believe. Oh, that's BS. All that means is you don't believe it. Those are two different things. Right? So you got to get back to again to what the definition of the word is. What is the definition of the word? If what you mean is lie, I can give you examples of where Devin Haney has said things that contradict it, that cannot be true. You cannot have a fight agreed to and a fight date and your money negotiated with Yuriorkis Gamboa, but at the same time be available to fight Gary Russell Jr. The two cannot be true at the same time. So you ask me, well, which one is true? Well, didn't he fight Yuriorkis Gamboa on the date that they had already agreed to? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. What lie has Gervonta Davis told? Lie. If that is the definition of the word cap, what lie did he tell? What lie did he tell? Something that he said that you know is not true. And put it in the chat. What did he say that was not true? That you know is not true? If he said, I want to fight Devin Haney, but the fight doesn't happen, that does not mean he didn't lie. He lied, because I can tell you a bunch of circumstances where the same thing applies and the person didn't lie. So take, for example, Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. said he wanted to fight Terrence Crawford. The fight didn't happen. That doesn't mean he's lying, right? Because it didn't happen. Deontay Wilder wanted to fight Anthony Joshua. That doesn't mean he was lying just because the fight didn't happen, because you have other things involved, like the other person may have a fight scheduled. The other person has a promoter that may or may not want the fight. And correct me if I'm wrong. Did or did not Bob Arum say that they don't need to make a fight with Gervonta Davis because they've got plenty of good fights over there in Top Rank? And Bob Arum has a lot of say-so in whether or not Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis fight. Just like Bob Arum had a lot to do with whether or not Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather fought. because at the end of the day, Bob Arum had to agree to it. But when Floyd said he wanted to fight Manny Pacquiao, and they made a $40 million offer for him, a $40 million guaranteed offer, right? The fight didn't happen, but that doesn't mean that Floyd Mayweather Jr. was cap when he said he wanted that fight. I just don't think that there's much comparison between the actual things that you can point to that you know are not true, and that on one side, versus the number of things that you know are not true on the other side. That's my perspective on it, which is different than a debate of the issue itself, right? Cap, what did he say? Yes, he did. Yes, he said that. Absolutely, he said that. Absolutely. Just like he said, now watch this. Just like Bob Arum said, exactly what Devin Haney would be doing. He said he is going to fight a fight, and this is something that was confirmed on my channel. I confirmed it with Bill Haney himself. He confirmed that George Kambosos had a rematch clause, and the only way that Devin Haney could get out of that rematch is if he was unable to fight at 135. And that was confirmed by Bill Haney, that was the term. So since Gervonta Davis is at 135, a fight with him would be at 135. In order for Devin Haney to fight him, to get out of a rematch clause by their own admission, he would have to go to 140. So consequently, he's not able to do that. He could not make that fight. The two things cannot be true at the same time. You cannot fight Gervonta Davis at 135 and not be able to make 135 at the same time. It's not possible. Just not possible. It is, however, possible for Gervonta Davis to say, I want to fight Devin Haney, mean that he wants to fight Devin Haney, but yet the fight can't happen for reasons like Devin Haney is not available to make the fight because he's not available to make the fight. Devin Haney was not available to fight Tank all of 2021. All of 2021. I mean, all of 2022, he wasn't available to fight him. I don't believe in all of 2021 before that Devin Haney was in the WBA rankings at the same time that Gervonta Davis was the WBA super champ. Anyway, most fans gravitate towards the real GTD and Wilder. Who do I feel I could meet and just meet them? And who I don't know, man, because I don't agree with that, because I think that Devin Haney is a very, very approachable guy and a nice guy. It's slang after all. But anyway, what do you mean by it? Define it. Cool. Who's the coolest? You just got to define it. Whatever, you just define it. You define it. Once you define it, you got it. You know what I mean? Once you define it, you got it. And you'll know. Do their fight schedules even align? I mean, they could align them if they wanted to align them. They could align if they wanted to align them. Here's the fact. I mean, the biggest thing, though, is for me, we on Demon Time. That's Tank. Hey, look, here's the fact. Here's what I see. Devin Haney's not a lightweight. He's just not a lightweight. He's not a lightweight, and they're with different promotional companies. And there's a problem in the money. At the end of the day, there's going to be problems with that money, because Devin is going to want to get paid a certain amount of money to fight Tank. And It very well may not be there. And I just think that those are the facts around it. And if there wasn't a lot of posturing, all of the posturing aside, it just comes out. You're in a situation where somebody has all the belts, so they're the champion in the division. And then you got a guy that really is the big draw, so he's a big attraction. And I just don't see that matching up. I don't see it matching up. Sound like Loma, he's heavyweight. No, I'm just telling you I'm not saying he's a heavyweight. I don't believe at the end of the day, he's not going to be a lightweight. You got to pick your argument, Tony. I don't know who you're talking about, Tony. I don't know your argument. Fanon, how come all the capping comes from the B-sides? Look, man, I think Devin Haney and Bill Haney are doing a lot of promotion. And when you're doing promoting, there's just a lot of that in there, man. Whenever you're doing promotion, you're going to do a lot of that. Bob Arum does a lot of that. You know what I mean? Bob Arum does a lot of that. Don King did a lot. Well, Don King wouldn't do a lot, but Don King would just start talking and really. Well, let me use Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn does a lot of that. But I think when they get off the cameras, then you can sit down and you can really have a conversation about trying to get something done. I just don't think. Didn't Team Haney say they'll fight Gary Antoine at 140? Yeah, at one point that they did, but I know you didn't take that seriously. What's going on to my man? So deep. I was enjoying it last night, man. I was enjoying it last night, and you know the deal. Make sure you guys go. Hold on one second. And subscribe to that good old Chicago music. On that, click that link and hit that thing, man. I'm telling y'all, anybody from Chicago that likes that old school house music, man, it was so good. It reminded me why I don't like rap. Look, So Deep, you reminded me last night of why I do not like rap. I was like, because this is what I was listening to that entire time. So it took a long time for me to ever really want to listen to that stuff in any great amount of, for any long amount of time, bro. As always, yes, sir, bro. It's not a violation. It's true. I'm not a big fan of rap. I can appreciate the skill set. I can appreciate the skill set. No Eminem. No, I don't want to talk about. I'm not going to talk about that. Sorry. Listen, I'm not responding to any questions about music. I'm putting a plug in for my guy because that's my guy. And I'm always going to put a plug in for my brother. That's what it is. Your intro is a rap song. My intro is an instrumental, brother. No, it is not. You do not hear a word in my instrumental. That is an instrumental, brother. That is a mix, is what that is. Anyway, that is called a mix, is what that is. A mix of old songs that somebody that rapped over. Anyway, thank you very much. That's an instrumental. Anyway, Fanon, I don't recall any A-sides doing this much capping on the way. Look, man, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I kind of would love to get, we need some more fights, man. We need more fights, man. We need some fights to pop off, bro. Why can't they promote the Loma fight? Why use Tank in the what is that? In the Effery? Oh, why can't they? Because, dude, don't nobody interested in that fight, man. Nobody's interested in the fight, man. Rise Podcast, what's good, man? Yeah, it is. Hey, it is. Yeah, but my thing is not rap. That's an instrumental. Trust me, bro. I didn't say that I don't like rap music. There's a lot of it I do like. I'm just not going to listen to it for any long amount of time, bro. We flooded the fight date, February 11th, February 25th, March 25th, PBC, give fight date. Yes, sir. Jim Jean-Pierre, man, Thank you for supporting Super Chat Thursdays, bro. Thank you for supporting me on Super Chat Thursday, brother. Thank you. Literally, nobody's talking about the Lomachenko fight. No, nobody is. But hey, I'm telling you, it's a good fight. I know Devin Haney's training. I know that he's training. I know he's got to be taking that serious. You know, because dude is a very good fighter, man. The dude is a very good fighter, man. It's funny how Dev don't troll Shakur, Gary, Antoine, Regis, Matias, not even Loma, and they got a fight coming. No, of course they don't, man. I'm trying to tell you, it is about Gervonta. Who wins with what? With Lomachenko and Devin? I mean, I don't know. I'll go with Loma. I'll go with Devin because he's the bigger, fresher, younger guy. And I think the book is out on, Lomachenko. I said I've thought that the book has been out on Lomachenko since Lomachenko fought what's that guy's name that he fought in the last guy that he fought at 130 pounds. The last guy that he fought at 130 pounds. Man, I don't remember his name, but I think the book has been out on him. Not 100, no, the last guy he fought at 130. It wasn't not Guillermo Rigondeaux, not Sosa, the Puerto Rican dude from Philadelphia. The guy, it's the other guy, the Miguel Mariaga. I think for Lomachenko, the book has been out on Lomachenko since Miguel Mariaga. Not Nicholas Walters, Miguel Mariaga. Miguel Mariaga. Not Salido. Salido, no, because Salido took a different approach to him. The book on the Matrix was solved by Miguel Mariaga. In my opinion, he just wasn't good enough a fighter. He just wasn't good enough a fighter to beat him. But when he started pivoting with him and not sitting down on his punches and just kept pivoting with him, it made Lomachenko much more predictable. And that's something that was used. That was something that was used by Jose Pedraza in the Jose Pedraza fight. Rip Jones said, good morning, Fanon, in the chat. Thank you, brother. And my man said, thank you, brother, for that support, Rip Jones. Also, my man said, Anthony Forrest, I thought it was Super Chat Thursday. I see no Super Chats. Haney talks too much, but it is what it is. Yeah, man, it is what it is. Because I decided to talk about this. It's probably not a very exciting topic. But yeah, brother, I appreciate you for supporting me. Thank you, man. It means a lot, man. Man, get out of here, bro. I'm just stop. It is just an interesting discourse that came up, brother. But I'm not interested in that, brother. Go away. Miguel Mariaga, not Mayorga. Mayorga is the guy that fought Shane Mosley. That's fought Shane Mosley, fought guys like that. Ricardo Mayorga. I'm talking about Miguel Mariaga. Miguel Mariaga is a former 126-pound titleist that moved up to fight Vasily Lomachenko at 130 pounds. And when I watched that fight, I was like, okay, this is going to be problems for Lomachenko in the future because they just pivot with him. They don't sit down because he likes to hop to the side and get you at that angle and then beat you up on an angle and jump to another angle. And when a guy doesn't sit down in his punches and doesn't commit to his punches and he's able to, and he knows which ways you're switching, that's where he goes. So it's not as able to do that. But at the same time, Lomachenko has a plan B where Lomachenko will start stepping to you. You know what I mean? And honestly, there is a way. I do believe there's a way that Lomachenko can win that fight with Devin, which is to sell out. If Lomachenko sells out, he can win that fight. He's just going to have to sell out. You know what I mean? He's going to have to press him, and he's going to have to press him from the very, very, very beginning and have no respect for Devin Haney's power and press him with a lot of punches and force that into something where those guys are exchanging punches for the length of that fight. He pretty much got to go. Old school Mexican. He got to go like Julio Cesar Chavez. He got to go Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. on him. He got to go at him. He's got to press him. He can't, because that switching and all that stuff is not going to work because the book is already out on him. But the thing about Devin is he doesn't have a lot of power. At least it doesn't look like he has a lot of power. So that right there, no, I don't think the jab is going to neutralize that because he's a southpaw. He's a southpaw. He can block that jab. Lomachenko's not that easy to hit with a jab. He's not that easy to hit with a jab. Who do you think hits harder, Lomachenko or Devin? I don't know. About the same. Probably Lomachenko. If Lomachenko sits down on his shot, Lomachenko. If he sits down on his shot, Lomachenko, I would say. But look, whatever the case is, he's going to have to press him. And he's going to have to take advantage of the scorecards by pressing him. That's what I mean. He's going to have to take advantage of the scorecards. He has to press him. He has to keep him moving back. He's got to keep, because if he tries to grab him, that's going to be problems for Devin. When he in the clinches, and he's got to let his hands go in the clinches. Fanon looks like that boy softest with them mitts. Now I'm just being real, man. It boils down to which does the better body work. Look, man, I just don't think Devin. I don't think Vasily Lomachenko can afford to go 3 and 4 rounds. I don't think he can afford to go 3 and 4 rounds of just letting the fight go slow. I think he's got to press him. I think he's got to hit him with big shots. I think he's got to press him with big shots and hit him with big shots early and often for the length of the fight, bro. Otherwise, he's probably going to lose. But at the same time, that's what I mean. Like what I mean is you have the issue with Top Rank and the fact that, not Top Rank, with the judges. And, it's not going to be easy to beat Lomachenko on the scorecards if you're not the house fighter. And I don't think that he's really I don't think Devin's a house fighter. So I think that in order for Lomachenko to win, he's got to press him. He's got to press him. He's got to steadily hit him. He's got to steadily make contact with him. You know what I mean? That's what I think he needs to do. And Devin's got to just do what he always does. Jab from the outside, keep him off of him, grab him when he gets up close, push off of him, throw, 2-3 punch combinations and all that stuff. And I think he can win the fight. But no, I'm not going to say Devin can't stop Lomachenko. That'd be very difficult. That's why I say you might as well press him. You might as well press him and try to force him into fighting more like he fought with George Kambosos. Right? Because he could fight similar to George Kambosos, the way George Kambosos did in the second fight, but he's a much better fighter and a much more dangerous fighter than George Kambosos is. And it's also a very, very big step up. It's a very, very big step up in competition, in my opinion. David Tistain said, Devin is a clown. I don't think he's a clown, man. He's not a clown. I hope Tank fights him after the Ryan and Lomachenko fight. Man, Devin Haney's not a clown, bro. I won't co-sign that. I will never co-sign that. That kid is not a clown. That dude is a legitimate top fighter. He's a legitimate top fighter. The promotional aspect of it, though, that's where all the BS comes in. And there's a lot of BS. There's a lot of BS. Like a lot of it. Okay, so... And pretty much it's just right there staring you in your face that there's a lot of it. But it's no different than Eddie Hearn. I mean, to me, he's kind of like Eddie Hearn. Like, yeah, he's kind of like Eddie Hearn. Who is the king of cap? Yeah, I mean, hey, Big King Griffey. Well, that's what's up, man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, Big King Griffey. Thank you for becoming a YouTube member. And thank you for supporting on Super Chat Thursdays. We got the regulars slow in the building. Devin got all the belts. Tank gonna have to sacrifice to something. No, he doesn't. Man, those belts mean nothing. Let's be real, man. Like, let's be real. Can we sit down and be real for a second? Like, as grown men, they're symbols of success. Symbols are symbols. Success is success. Fanon, I agree with you that 100 is dangerous for Devin in regards of to the judging. You know what? You know they want Loma to win them belt back. I mean, you got to be worried about that, or you got to take that in consideration. You know what I mean? And this ain't George Kambosos, partners. You can say what you want to say about Lomachenko. That ain't George. That is not George Kambosos. It's not. It's a much tougher fight. A much tougher fight. And again, I don't sound anything like Lomachenko saying that man's a heavyweight. He's looking at that man like he said he's a heavyweight. He still wants to fight him. He's a much bigger guy. Devin Haney is about a welterweight. That's probably where he's gonna. I guarantee you, man, he is squeezing a lot of weight off of that frame. He is squeezing a lot of weight off of that frame. Tank sacrifice for the belts. For what? Look, man, pride comes before the fall. Pride comes before the fall. Keep it boxing. Tank could literally say, drop those belts and I'll fight you. I don't want your belts. I want to fight you. I don't want your belts. Drop your belts and I'll fight you. Because I'm not paying 12% of my purse to them. That is reasonable. From a grown man perspective. It is reasonable from a grown man's perspective. When you have everybody saying the same thing when they retire, like Floyd, like who said this? Andre Ward said it. He was like, man, I got all these belts, man. I paid all these money for these belts. I regret it. Andre Ward said he regretted having as many belts as he has. Is that true or not true? As a fact. Andre Ward said he regretted it. I said, I apologize. Fanon has to stay on Fraud Crawford's neck. I'm trying to stay away from Floyd. I'm trying to stay away from Terrence Crawford for a little while, man. That conversation gives me a headache, man. I've been talking about him for like we trying to talk about what we want to talk about, so I'll engage in the conversation. Hey, my man right there, 100 grand said, morning all. Thank you for the support on the Super Chat Thursdays from John Bowie. Said, good morning all. Shout out to everyone. So I went to my local dealer with my Gucci belt and asked him, I'm trying to get a shot, some cash. He said, come cash or get the heck out of here. Oh, man, you ain't lying. They're trinkets, brother. They're trinkets. They're trinkets. When Mike Tyson would say, oh, these belts are history. And he said, man, these belts are trash. This is nothing. He said, yeah, when you're coming up and you're a kid, yeah, this is really important when you're coming up and you're a kid. But this is trash. He called his belts trash. Andre Ward said he regrets the belts. It seems to me that when Gervonta Davis says, I'll fight you, drop those belts and I'll fight you. That's right in line with what Andre Ward said, who is a Hall of Fame fighter, and Mike Tyson, who is a legendary Hall of Fame fighter. Both said the same thing. Floyd Mayweather Jr. would drop belts on a regular basis and then turn around and fight the guy that has the belts. Would drop a belt in a minute. 9 times out of 10 rather have the money. 10 times out of 10, I'd rather have the money. 10 times out of 10, I'd rather have the money. 10 times out of 10. Me, 10 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10, I'd rather have the money. 10 times out of 10. And guess what? 10 times out of 10, so would Bill Haney. I guarantee you. Because that's what they talk about primarily is the money. And because they're not dumb. One thing that you know about Bill Haney and Devin Haney is they're not dumb. They're not dumb. Highly intelligent human beings. Highly intelligent human beings. I co-sign them on the highly intelligent human being. Okay? They are there for the money. Believe it. Number one, the money. Number two, the money. Number three, the money. Number four, fame. But not belts. Not belts. Not belts. And how many belts does Gervonta Davis have to win? He won 3 at 130. He won 3 at 130. And he said to George Kambosos, because he could have fought George Kambosos. Number 5, the money. Let's just get around to that. Haney is not going to fight Tank, bro. YTG bankroll. By the time that fight happens, if Devin Haney fights him, he's going to get knocked out. Devin went for the belts to help get fights to try and get fame. So then they could get the money, but it ain't working. Because the money is already locked up, Rise. The money is already locked up. It's already locked up. I told you, dude, it is what is yours is yours. What is yours is yours. You can't force it. What is yours is yours. You can't force it. Like, it doesn't matter how much Lennox Lewis is a better fighter than Mike Tyson. Doesn't matter that Evander Holyfield is a better fighter than Mike Tyson. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson right now, of all the heavyweights alive, is the number one attraction, the number one name of all living fighters other than Floyd Mayweather Jr., and he may be the number one fighter, the number one recognized and appreciated fighter, period. That is Mike Tyson. You cannot be Mike Tyson. You can't be him. He is he. That's who he is. And people gravitate towards him. People, you cannot be Floyd. Sorry. As much as you want to try, and no doubt about it, man, again, my apologies to Leonard Ellerby. My apologies to Leonard Ellerby. You all cannot remake magic, okay? Good luck trying. In boxing, there's only at one time 3 or 4 guys that are just that. One guy that, and only once, every once in a while, is a guy that's like that. Canelo Alvarez will never catch Floyd Mayweather Jr., brother. Never. As hard as they try, they will always fail. Because Canelo Alvarez is not Floyd Mayweather Jr. He ain't got the gift. And the gift is God's plan for you. YTG Bankroll TV, Devin always gets hit too. Tell me a fight where Devin Haney fought where he didn't get hit. You're never going to find one. He gets hit every fight. They all get hit every fight. They all get hit every fight. That is the corniest argument of all the corny arguments. They all get hit every fight. Nobody has Floyd's work ethic. That is not true. I work as hard as Floyd Mayweather Jr. does. That's not true. There are people that work as hard as Floyd Mayweather Jr. Yes, there are. Absolutely, positively, there are people that work as hard as he does. Without a doubt. He worked as hard as he could. No, there are people that work that hard, bro. And that is not BS. I guarantee you my wife works as hard as he does. I guarantee you she does. She literally works every minute of the day, bro. Name one fighter that works as hard. Andre Ward. Andre Ward. Andre Ward. Never smokes, never drinks, always in the gym. The only difference is he's not going to strip clubs and going there in the nighttime. Dude, there are people that work as hard as he does. They may not work harder, but they will work as hard as you can work. There's only 24 hours in the day. There's only 24 hours in the day. You must sleep. You must eat. You are not alone. He's just the best. He's just the best. And then he works very, very hard. I have no doubt about it. He works very, very hard. But he's not the hardest working person. He's not the only person that works that hard. And working that hard is not necessarily going to get you there. You sound like you talk about Crawford's work ethic. Terrence Crawford works very hard. Obviously, he works very hard. Obviously. There's a finite amount of work you can do. There's only 24 hours in a day. Right? It's y'all's fault we can't play boxing, but they got joysticks. Look, I'm just saying, I have nothing but respect for Floyd Mayweather's work ethic and how great a shape he's in, and he's running and he's always in shape. You know what I mean? No doubt about it. But I don't know that he's the hardest working person ever. You know what I mean? I don't know that. And I have a suspicion, and it's most likely that there are people that work just as hard. They may not be as talented. They may not be as skilled, but they can work very hard. You can work very hard and maximize your complete potential and still be a B-level fighter. Hey, John Bowie, man, holding down the super chat. Thank you, brother. Said all I noticed in Rolly and Devin sparring video was Devin getting his inner anus out and started Rolly in the ring. Very questionable. Oh, hey, man, I didn't see that. I didn't watch that, bro, but I swear, bro. Fanon, Floyd's peers said that nobody works hard as a man, Ward included. Let me tell you something, brother. I guarantee you that there is somebody that works as hard as him. Guarantee you. I guarantee you. Guarantee you. Guarantee you. First of all, they don't know everybody. And also, they with him all the time. And what do you think they're going to say? Andre Ward's going to say, no, I work harder than him. Nobody works as hard as Floyd. No, you may go in there and be like, God, dog, this man is really working. Let me up my level. I just don't buy it, brother. I don't buy it that he's the hardest working person ever. I don't buy that. I do not buy that. Don't buy it. I don't buy it. I do not believe that he's the only person that works that hard. I don't buy it. He said, oh, Isaiah, that's a fact. That's the situation with me, Fanon. Haha. You can add somebody from Philly. I work the hardest. I wanted the hardest working guys, but I was just not as talented as the others. But you are absolutely correct. Exactly. Just because you work hard don't mean that you're going to have that level of talent. No joke. No joke. My understanding is that Evander Holyfield is one of the hardest working fighters ever. Evander Holyfield never stopped working. Never stopped working. John Boy said, yeah, it's hard to watch no offense, but anybody with a smile Devin had on and Rolly confusion was completely there. I'll go watch that, man, because I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. You know what I mean? It's not Floyd's fault, man. Man, will you please? Let me ask you a question, man. Please do me a favor, okay? Please do me a favor. Shut up. Okay? Shut up. Like, what are you talking? Dude, I have a hard time dealing with comments like this. It's not Jordan's fault either. Who said that it was Floyd Mayweather's fault? What do you mean? Will you please just be quiet? Because nobody, at no point in time did I blame Floyd for anything. Lord, please stop. Just don't talk, man. Seriously, man. Thank you, bro. Man, come on. Hey, Fanon, sorry, Slew Fanon for my sorry for my time. What's going on, Dennis TV? Thank you, brother. Dennis James TV, rather. Fanon, I know the difference between talent and hard work. Evander would pop dirty, so he ain't work hard. Dude. People that pop dirty work very, very hard. And he did not pop dirty in a fight, bro. You can still work hard and cheat at the same time. I'm telling you, man, you guys logic, man. You guys fail on the logic, bro. Like some of y'all, brother, fail on that logic. Say Fanon, SMD, a few other Chews. What's going on, Chew? Boots work. Look, dude, I don't want to get into this because on the real, a lot of people work very, very hard. Okay? They work very hard. And consistent. Hey, thank you, Jarrell. Like, man, come on, man. Like, I didn't blame him for nothing. Oh, that was a spell check for now. Oh, that's spell check for now. Okay, that's what's up. Anyway. So let's get back to the subject matter in hand, brother. And thank you to everybody that supported in the super chat and the Cash App. Greatly, greatly appreciated. What's good with y'all? Thank you. You can pop dirty with something. Yeah, but here's the thing, man. Popping dirty, you can still work hard if you're on PEDs. In fact, PEDs allow you to work harder than you would if you're not. You can't just put it in your system and not do any work. You know what I mean? Not if you're cheating, you're not cutting corners. You're literally adding something on top of it. You can work all day long, all night, all day, all night, and then go steal some money. You still worked hard for your money. You just stole something extra. Anyway, man, I don't want to get into that, man. I know you're, by your own admission, you're a bit of a flomo. So no worries, bro. Floyd is the hardest working person ever. I got it. There's no other fighter ever that completely dedicated themselves to a sport for their living. I understand. Everybody else was sleeping. Like nobody else that got to that level because they worked nonstop. I got it. Floyd is the only one ever to do that. I am not a fan of specialty, okay? I don't think you're special. Unless you're special. Floyd is special. Okay? He's special. He could probably get more out of the work that he does. He could get a lot out of the work that he does. He knew what work to do. And he's extremely talented and extremely skilled. And he had a great trainer. And he's got great examples. And he had great sparring. Everything came together for him, man. Okay? And he could punch. And he could punch. I'm also in a boxing gym that produced multiple world champions, and they all say the same thing. I got you, brother. I got you. They all say the same thing. Even though They don't know everybody. You know what I mean? They don't know everybody, Fahim. They don't. They do not know how hard everybody works in the Philippines. Okay? They do not know how hard they work in the Philippines because they've not met them. It's just a lot to say. But anyway, can we get back? Let's get back to this conversation, brother, because I do just want to share some insights. Okay, I do want to share some insights in this regard, bro. But Floyd is the hardest working person ever. He's beaten 900 million world champions. Got it. He'll knock out Ali, all of that. Anyway, is Joe Joyce the future? Heck no, he's 40 years old. Heck no, he ain't the future of the heavyweight division. No, he's not. No, he is not. Joe Joyce is just waiting to get beat. Well, Joe Joyce is waiting for that. Let me tell you what Joe Joyce is. Joe Joyce is a can that is getting hit. He is a can of tomatoes that keeps getting hit with a bat. Eventually, that tomato can is going to pop. He's not 40 yet. He's 38 or 39 years old, bro. He's 38 or 39 years old. No, he's not the future. No, he is not. No, he is not. Let me repeat that, and I'm going to continue to repeat that. No, he is not. And we can leave Joe Joyce right there. All right? I like Joe Joyce, though. Don't get me wrong. I like Joe Joyce. I like slow Joe Joyce. You know what I mean? I like slow Joe Joyce. However, no, he is not. That can is going to get dented. Okay, I'm telling you, he keeps getting hit like that. Trust me, he's not going to keep standing up like that. Too much. They don't want to give Floyd his overall rating and to play boxing, but they still can't steal our joy. I mean, come on. What do you mean to play boxing? Man, come on, man. Come on, man. I don't play video games. What makes me last the time is some of these so-called boxing fans have a lot to say about a fighter getting in the ring and doing this or doing that and don't even know how to throw a jab. I love to see Joyce versus Wilder, see that can take those bombs. Nah, he's not going to take that bomb. He's going to get out. He's going to get out of there. He's going to get out of there. Like that, you're not taking that. You're not taking that. Not taking it. Like if it's really caught, you're not taking it. You know what I mean? You're not taking it. Well, hey, H-Town 713 in the building. What's going on, brother? How you feeling, man? Yeah, slow Joe Joyce is very, very slow, bro. He's slow. He's slow. Not intelligent, but he's kind of slow. Anyway, back to the original conversation, brother. Yeah, brother. There's no doubt between the two of those. How is Tank capping and he don't bother anybody? He's not. He's not. He's not let me tell you something. He's not in a way that you can prove that. You have to assume that. You have to assume it because you can't say that he is based off him saying something that you know is not true. Right? He said it's time to fight Vasily Lomachenko. He could not become the mandatory for Vasily Lomachenko, by the way, because Vasily Lomachenko is the WBA super champion. Gervonta Davis was ranked number 1 in the WBA, but Vasily Lomachenko is the WBA super champion. Exactly. Calls for speculation. Thank you, T. Orlando. Calls for speculation. Calls for speculation. Calls for speculation. You have to speculate as to whether he could have done this or not. Just because he says that he wants to fight somebody and he's the A side, that doesn't mean that he can get that fight. That does not mean. See, and this is what happens when you conflate terms. The A side, because Gervonta Davis is most definitely the A side over anybody that he fights. that does not mean that he can fight anybody he wants. Does that make sense to you? The fact that he is the A side does not mean that he can fight anybody he wants. Think about that for a second. Just because he's the A side doesn't mean that he can fight anybody he wants. Can he? No, not necessarily, because what does the A side mean? You're an A side in a negotiation that is taking place. There is no A side, truly, until you sit down and you both agree that you want to fight. That's when you become the A side, when you agree that you want to fight. If somebody does not want to fight you, you are not the A side, because there is no side. There's no negotiation. If Bob Arum says, Devin, you have to fight George Kambosos, or you have to pay me $2 million and you got to pay George Kambosos $10 million to get out of my contract that I have with you and get out of the contract that you have, that rematch clause with George Kambosos. It does not matter that Gervonta Davis is the A side in a negotiation, because he cannot force somebody that is not party to their agreement to acquiesce their rights in order to make the fight take place. Right? So if you point out that Gervonta Davis did not fight this guy, but he's the A side so he can make that fight, that's not necessarily true. Barring someone blatantly ducking, Tank can fight whoever he wants. No, it's not true. It's not true. Gervonta Davis let me tell you somebody Gervonta Davis cannot fight. Anybody at Top Rank that Bob Arum says no to. If Bob Arum says, Lomachenko, no, you cannot fight him, I will not agree to that fight. What is Lomachenko going to do? Fahim, let's do a hypothetical to prove my point. If Bob Arum says, Vasily Lomachenko, I have you under contract for 3 more fights, I am not going to make the Gervonta Davis fight. What is Lomachenko going to do? Nothing. And let me tell you why. Do you know that Adrian Brawner was going to be fighting Ivan Redcash? Fahim Sator, what happened to the Gervonta? What happened to the fight between Adrian Brawner and Ivan Redcash? Since you said that, Fahim, what happened to that fight? Is that fight taking place? No, it's not. Did Ivan Redcash want that fight? Yes. Did Adrian Brawner want that fight? Yes. Did BLK Prime want that fight? Yes. Is the fight taking place? No. Who's the A side? Adrian Brawner. Who's the B side? Ivan Redcash. Did the fight take place? Is the fight taking place? No. Why? Because the Joe DeGuardia said no. So there's an example of an A side agreeing to a fight with the B side, and the B side was unable to fight him because the promoter said no. That right there disproves the idea that because you're the A side, that means you can get any fight you want. Let me give you another example of that. You want another example of that? Floyd Mayweather Jr. did not get a Manny Pacquiao fight until Bob Arum agreed to it. Because Manny Pacquiao, for years, had a promotional agreement with Bob Arum, and Bob Arum was not going to allow that fight to take place until he was happy with the money that Bob Arum was going to make. All that BLK Prime had to do was wet the promoter's beak. That does not solve your problem. Because again, you're talking about what the promoter would do on the B side, what the B side promoter would do, what the A side promoter would do. Well, all you got to do is pay more money. What if the guy says no to no more money? It's at the end of the day, it's the decision of the promoter of the B side. Just like if you want to go to work, right? Who is an employer as the A side? If anybody goes, what's the biggest company in the world, right? You don't. There's not slavery. This is not slavery. You cannot dictate to somebody just because you have more money or influence what they have to do. At the end of the day, they have to agree. Terrence Crawford is the B side. Errol Spence didn't get that fight. Right? Right, Fahim? Hey, Fahim, do you say that Errol Spence Jr. ducked because he's the A side and he didn't get the fight with the B side, Terrence Crawford? No. Gervonta Davis cannot make a fight with anybody he wants just because he's the A side. No. Anybody that values money and having a big fight in the lightweight division is probably interested in fighting Gervonta Davis. He most definitely has leverage in a negotiation with anybody that wants to fight him. But the number one thing that has to happen is that fighter and that fighter's organization have to want to fight him. If that fighter's promoter and that organization does not want the fight, that fight cannot take place. So right there, the idea that because Gervonta Davis is the A side, he is responsible for every fight that does not happen. It's just a little bit fallacious. About that fallacious. Fact of the matter is it's not true. A side equals a-hole that makes the rules B side itch, that listens to the rules of the A side. Exactly, but before you become an A side or B side, you have to have an agreement to fight at all. And at any point in time, the B side can still say no. At any time, you have the right to say no, unless it is a law. And even in that case, you have the right to say no. They will just throw you in jail. You do not have to pay your taxes. You just have to go to jail if you don't. That's just real. I'm not making that up. You can't beat him. I don't know why you keep doing. I don't know what you can't beat who. I thought he bought it out. What do you mean? Who bought what out? Look, man, people say this. Now watch this. Even with Al Heyman, right? If people have an advisory contract with him that says, look, man, you cannot take a fight without advising me, without my approval, right? If that's in the contract, he needs Al Heyman's approval to make the fight. If he's the manager, and it's in the agreement, you may very well have to have an agreement with the manager, especially if you have some financial relationship with them where you wind up owing them money or something. You automatically lose the argument when you use an outlier or a rare instance. I don't know what you mean by that, Xena 360. Oh, you're talking about gun toting. A Devin versus Floyd right now, who wins? I mean, I would suspect Devin Haney. I would suspect Devin Haney would beat Floyd right now. I suspect. I think that he's a 45-year-old man. So, I mean, you know, 3 sheets to the what? I don't know what that is. Thank you. I used to use percent chance. Oh, okay, you're doing that. Okay. The business of boxing gets a great deal of credit for stopping these fights from happening. Yeah, but look, dude, the business of boxing are people. They're people. People get in the way of every fight that doesn't take place. It's people. People. Who you got on Saturday? Beterbiev or Yard? You got to be kidding me, bro. You got to be kidding me. Who do I have between Anthony Yard and Arthur Beterbiev? Give me Beterbiev. And I'll be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll just be wrong. Hey, and if I'm wrong, I'll just be wrong. You know what I mean? Hey, it's common sense. People like what? Hey, let me summon some Devin Haney fans. Devin Haney, nah, we all right, brother. Trust me, we all good. Hey, man, I do like. Hey, dude, seriously though, Devin got a great somebody supporting him though, because BFTB does a great job of supporting him. Stick with him. Stick with BFTB, because BFTB about the only person can make that about the only person can make that case. I got to take my hat off to that for that. He's not a dangerous puncher. 38 years old. Oh, who's you talking about? I don't care. Are you talking about Arthur Beterbiev? And Arthur Beterbiev's not a danger puncher. Who's not a dangerous puncher? Arthur Beterbiev? Man, Arthur Beterbiev, you can't be talking about Arthur Beterbiev. You're going to tell me you think the guy that got knocked out by Sergey Kovalev is going to now beat Arthur Beterbiev in 5 rounds. Are you serious? Like, it may happen because Anthony Yard is talented. He's definitely talented. Oh, Devin Haney is not a dangerous puncher? No, he's not. Not that we can see anyway. But if he gets the knockout, that goes a long way, bro. Now watch this. What happens if he gets a knockout? Now, this is something else too, bro. Woo-wee. If he gets a knockout, what's going to happen if he gets a knockout? Right? Then it's going to be Gervonta scared of getting knocked out. So let's pray for a knockout. For for Devin Haney to knock out Gervonta Davis. This engine got stopped by a washed-up Kovalev. Y'all kidding me? Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, man. Nonito probably does hit harder than Haney. Nonito probably does, man. Hey, man, thank you, John Boy, for holding down the super chat today, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, brother. On a very, very slow super chat Thursday, brother. You've been the man. Thank you, man. Yard got lots of bad habits. Look, man, he holds his hands down. I just don't think he's going to be able to pull that off, bro. I just think that can get real ugly. I think that can get real ugly. No joke. Exactly. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm just going to be wrong on that one. I'm going to be wrong because, hey, dude, look, man, I got to admit, bro, I've never really been that sold on Anthony Yard. I've never really been that sold on Anthony Yard. I've never been sold on him. Like him, seems like a nice guy, root for him. But in my opinion, it's just a waste of time. I think all those guys are a waste of time. After he fights, now watch this. After he fights Anthony Yard, they wanted to fight Callum Smith. They wanted to fight Callum Smith after that. So it's just terrible. Super Chat Thursday. Shout out King and Brooks. Hey, thank you, Orlando. Appreciate you, brother. Devin does Floyd like Terry Norris did Sugar Ray Leonard. I mean, why are you even bringing that up? Why are you bringing that? I don't even understand why y'all bringing that up. That is so disrespectful, man. Like, man, so what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so what? Him saying he can probably beat Julio Cesar Chavez too. So what? So what? Are you guys like desperate to give him some credit? Are y'all like desperate to give him some credit or something? Why are you bringing up what he would do with Floyd? Why don't you talk about what he do with Jaron Ennis? What would he do with Jaron Ennis now? Since they the same size, how about that? Man, for real, y'all some cornballs, bro. Like for real. You guys get on some real corny stuff. What difference does it make? Oh man, much love in the Cash App, bro. That's big. Thank you. Thank you for holding down the chat, brother, keeping the lights on. Hold on one second. Aisha in the building. Thank you so much. Man, what a lovely picture. $10 holler. Thank you for that $10 holler in the Cash App, sister. Thank you. Greatly appreciate you supporting and sponsoring the channel. Thank you. And also, Sean said, great boxing convo, even though we disagree on Dev. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you, man. And that was also really nice to see that debate over on KOs because people actually got along and like each other while they're arguing. That's a really nice thing, man. Ain't no name calling. Ain't none of that stuff that these other clowns be doing. Like, they don't get personal, and it was really nice to see. Giovanni Walker, Super Chat Thursday. Thank you for that support, brother. Thank you, man. Greatly appreciated, man. Trust that Floyd a granddaddy, man. Like, come on, man. Like, dude, look, what can Devin, let's talk about something more real. What is Devin Haney going to do with Jaron Ennis? Since you want to see what he's going to do with the retired welterweight, let's talk about, even though Floyd's not really a welterweight, but you get my point. Let's talk about what he would do with Jaron Ennis. Since Jaron Ennis didn't get that knockout and he went 12 rounds. Who you guys got in that fight? Who you got in that fight? Who you got in that fight? Huh? I'm talking to the Devin Haney fans. Who you got in that fight? Since you want to talk about what's he going to do with Floyd now, yeah, dog. Boy, I swear to God, y'all be coddling that brother, bro. Oh, my bad. Oh, you know I can't afford to do that, bro. I got to do that. Got to get back to that. John Boy said, bro, rewatch yesterday's show. Thank you, Zenith, for holding the show down yesterday, but you missed a few of his super chats. My apologies, Zenith. Oh, man, my bad, Zenith 360. Zenith 360. Let me read like 4 of your comments in a row with no super chats. Said, if he can't, much love, brother. He said, if he can't beat Jaron, he can't beat Floyd in any era. I mean, he can't beat him now. He may be able to beat him now because he's 45 years old. But, dude, what you trying to do that for? What's going on, Chicken Talk? How you feeling, brother? Could he beat Floyd Mayweather Jr. at 135 pounds? No. At 135 pounds? No. No. Could he beat Shane Mosley at 135 pounds? No. Is he going to beat Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. at 135 pounds? No. Is he going to beat Pernell Whitaker at 135 pounds? No. Okay? And I'm going to stand on that. I am going to stand on that. Because he's not able to knock people out in his prime. He does not have the ability to hurt and stop people. That weapon isn't there. The rest of them can hurt you. All of those dudes. Even Pernell Whitaker, who is not the biggest puncher in the world. Tank can't either. If Tank catches any of them, they can go to sleep. If Tank catches any of them, they can go to sleep. Red Arrow. If he catches any of them. For now, why keep putting boots on Devin? He ain't getting past Prograis or Antoine Russell, because I want to go more to the obvious example. But let me ask you a question. Who's the A side, Fahim, between Devin Haney and Gervonta Ennis? Watch this one. You ready for this? Watch this one. Who is the A side between Gervonta Davis, between Devin Haney and Gervonta Ennis? Who's the A side? I think it's Devin Haney. It's Devin Haney. Boots hasn't even headlined his own show yet. It's Haney. So watch. Devin Haney's ducking him. Because he's the A side, he can make that fight. Nah, not really. Nah. I hate weed. Nah. I hate weed. Oh, what is this? Hold on a second, man. Oh, man, I got to be looking at these things nervously. Sorry about that. It's a rhetorical question. But anyway, all right. Thanks for the response, big bro. Hey, Rigger. Oh, man, anytime, man. Anytime, man. Horrible analogy. No, yeah, it is. It is. It absolutely is. Slay, yay for the retarded boy. It is a terrible one. It is a terrible one. Exactly. That's my point. Just because you're the A side doesn't mean you can make a fight. And just because you're the A side and the fight doesn't get made doesn't mean you ducked. It is a horrible example. That's my, but it's not an analogy, dumbass. Excuse me, let me get back to you. It's not an analogy, dumbass. It's not an example. It's an example. It's not an analogy, dumbass. But dummy, I'm telling you it's terrible. That's why I'm making it. Just because you're the A side doesn't mean that you can make a fight. And just because you're the A side and you can make a fight doesn't mean that you're ducking if the fight doesn't happen. And just because you say that I want to fight and I'm the A side, that if it doesn't happen, you're cap. Exactly. I'm glad that you agree with me. I'm glad that you agree with me. Because that's my point. But you're a little bit of a slow-witted guy. Because you're laughing at me, but agreeing with me at the same time. Hold on one second. Devin, anyway, what does Feliz Navidad mean? Happy New Year? I think that's Happy Nativity, which would be Christmas. Yeah, he did it, but he didn't at the same time, man. I ain't counting Showbox. Anyway, he hasn't had a championship fight. There you go. But he had that last time. He didn't headline. He did not headline. He didn't do the views. I'm just trying to make Devin the A side, even though I got to give it admission here, bro. It's hard to say that Devin's the A side against anybody. Really. Because he's very expensive and his fights don't generate money. So it is very, very... Like, on the real, other than them trinkets, why would you want to fight him? Other than the belts. It's a funny situation. Devin, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of hard to make an argument that Devin's the A side against anybody. Hey, what's going on? Hey, what happened, Rachel? Hey, what's going on with Hold on a second. Hold on, man. One second. Okay. Thought I might have messed that up. Did you read what I said? I said Devin don't get KOs because he don't take risks. Dude, he's just not a big puncher, bro. He's just not a big puncher. It's just what it is. He's not a big puncher, man. I'm going to tell you, I just don't think he's a tremendously talented athlete. That's the big thing with Devin for me is I just don't think that he's an elite athlete. I think that he's very, very skilled. But I don't know if he's an elite level athlete. And I think that that's like, and I mean, I don't mean like he's not a world class, like he's not a very, very good athlete. I just don't know if he is like really and like, because boxing, I think people can box and you can be very good without really having and being that really elite level, like your athleticism, like as far as you just being a naturally talented athlete. I think that there's like a lot of basketball players, but like in basketball, you really can't get away with that. Like you have to have a certain level of athleticism in basketball to do certain something. And I really think that I really just think that he's just not an elite athlete. A very, very good athlete. But Floyd Mayweather Jr. is like an elite level athlete. Who else was an elite level athlete? Like Sugar Ray Leonard was an elite level athlete. Bernard Hopkins, I think Bernard Hopkins was one, but he's not as that, like Roy Jones Jr. is an elite level athlete. Like an elite level athlete. So he can do a lot of things. Like Terrence Crawford, I think, is an elite level athlete. Errol Spence Jr. is an elite level athlete. Those guys, I think, are elite level athletes. And as a result, they've got like the explosion that you need to really do things like that. Yeah, like Muhammad Ali was an elite level athlete, like he was a crazy level athlete. Derek James said, Fanon, Dev got all the belts, and you mean to tell me you don't think he got to go on tour for the belts and you can beat one man for undisputed, but nobody calling him crazy to me, but he a boogeyman? Let me repeat this. Fanon, Devin got all the belts. Yeah, he does. And you mean to tell me, okay, what? You don't got to go on tour for the belts and you can beat one man for undisputed, but nobody calling him Crazy to me, but he a boogeyman. Let me go back. I got to make sure I understand that, brother. Fanon. Devin got, man, thank y'all for supporting in the super chats, bro. Devin got all the belts. He did not have to go on tour for the belts. He beat one man for Undisputed. But nobody's calling him. Crazy to me. But he a boogeyman. Bro, everybody's trying to fight Devin. Who's not trying to fight him? Who's not trying to fight Devin? Who has said they're not trying to fight Devin? Enlighten me into who the person that's not trying to fight Devin is. Gervonta said he'd fight him. He's going to go get his money first because he's got a fight scheduled. Is it okay for him to fight the fight that he's got scheduled while a month before Devin fights the fight that he has scheduled? Right? Devin fights in May. Gervonta fights in April. So Gervonta's actually fighting before Devin fights, and Devin is not available to fight him. Once again, like for real, like he cannot fight. Gervonta Davis cannot fight Devin Haney right now. Can't do it. Could he send the contract if he wanted to send the contract? Yes, I suppose he could. But why would you waste your time doing it? And on top of that, I do believe he's got a rematch clause with Ryan Garcia. So he can't. Yes, he could send the contract, but what difference would it make if he did send the contract? Nothing. Nothing whatsoever. Because Devin Haney already has a fight scheduled for May. What do you expect him to? I'm not saying maybe you're not saying this. What do you expect him to drop out of the fight with Ryan Garcia and then wait on Devin to fight? Wait on Devin to fight Lomachenko and then catch Devin after that? Why would he not earn a payday against Ryan Garcia when he's literally fighting before Ryan Garcia is, before Devin Haney's fighting, right? But let's do the Gervonta Davis and set that to a side. Shakur Stevenson said he wanted to fight him. Shakur Stevenson said he came to that division for all the belts. Shakur Stevenson said he wants to fight Devin Haney more than he wants to fight Gervonta Davis. That's what Shakur said. So you got Gervonta, you've got Shakur, and then you've got Lomachenko that's actually scheduled to fight him. So clearly Lomachenko wants to fight him because Lomachenko has a fight scheduled with him. So those are three top guys in his division, other than himself, that all said they would fight him. And one of them actually has a fight scheduled with him. The other one is fighting before he's fighting, not after. He's fighting in April. He's not fighting in May. By the way, Devin better be real careful about that May date. Because according to some people, half of that month is already gone. They not going to want to make that fight the same day Errol Spence Jr. fights Keith Thurman, nor Canelo Alvarez's trash fight against John Ryder. So, anyway, I don't get that. How is he a boogeyman and nobody wants to fight him? When 3 of the 4 people said that they want to fight him. Oh, this is how you're going to do it. Oh, they're all lying. They're all lying. They're all lying. They're all cap. Gervonta doesn't really want the fight, or Gervonta would send a contract. Why would Gervonta sign a contract when Devin Haney hasn't even beat Lomachenko yet? Why? What good would that do? To lock himself into a fight with Devin Haney when Devin Haney may not have the belts. Doesn't make sense to me. Seems like a lot of paperwork for nothing. Because it's not promised that Gervonta is going to beat Ryan, even though he should. And it's not promised that Devin's going to beat Lomachenko, even though he probably will. So why would you schedule that fight? And also, why wouldn't Gervonta fight? Why wouldn't Gervonta fight? Now let's talk about Gervonta fighting his last fight, which took place in January. Devin fought in October, November, December, because he fought on January 7th, which was pretty much just the first week of the new year. So they literally was only 8 weeks. He only fought 9 weeks after, roughly 10 weeks after. Devin Haney wasn't going to be available to fight in January. He said he wasn't going to be able to fight in December. So why would you think he could fight in January? See, what we have here is a case of Yale logic, Yale school of argument. And this is what that is. When you start with the conclusion that you want and you work backwards, you say, well, Devin Haney was ducked by Gervonta Davis. How do you know that? I don't know, but let me figure out how I can make that argument. I don't know, but let me figure out how I can make that argument. So you go backwards and you align all of the facts and all of the stuff into a nice little row that supports your premise that you had to begin with. Like, why should I get this job? I want this job is the real answer, but let me tell you why I should get it. So then you have to make an argument to support your premise. Because when you say I want this job, you're never going to then argue that you don't. When you say I deserve this job, you're never going to make an argument that you don't deserve it. Your challenge is to put everything in a row that you know to make the argument and convince somebody that you do. That's the Yale school of argument. Start with the premise that you want and work backwards and make the facts fit. That's what y'all are doing. Instead of saying, let's seek the truth. Let's seek something that is reasonable. Let's analyze the facts and then we'll draw our conclusion. Analyze the facts, then draw your conclusion. Don't draw your conclusion, then state the facts that support them. Because inevitably, you're going to have to bend this, ignore that, right? And that's where it falls apart. That's where it falls apart. John Boy said, are you idiots out here talking like my girl will stop cheating as soon as she stopped running into guys with them things? Okay, good luck, bro, with that. Yeah, pretty much. And my man, Zeta360 says, Shakur, Frank Martin, Richardson, Hitchens, Gary Antoine all called out Devin. Since Devin is the A side, does that mean he's not sending contracts? Means that he's ducking, at least by their logic? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But again, I'm telling you, that is working from a conclusion and going backwards. Instead of looking at all of the available evidence and making your conclusion. That right there is the problem. Because the fact of the matter is, I don't know where Gervonta Davis has lied. I don't know of a circumstance that he lied without me telling you that I can read his mind, which I assure you I cannot do. If Gervonta Davis says now is the time to fight Vasily Lomachenko and the fight doesn't happen, that doesn't mean he lied about it. Hey, now is the time to go to the store. But I don't go to the store doesn't mean that it wasn't time to go to the store. It just means that I didn't go to the store. So why didn't you go to the store? I had a flat tire. The store was closed. It started snowing. There's ice on the road. Yes, it's time to go to the store, but I can't go to the store. Why? Because the store is closed and there's ice on the road and my wheels and my tire I lost, so I can't get there. So Gervonta Davis can say, hey, Derek James, say, Gary Russell. Thank you, brother. Much love. What about Gary Russell? I know Devin and them were cap on Gary Russell. I have the contract. I have the contract that they sent. The contract with no date, no network, none of the terms that they said would be in there, and on top of it, it was binding. It said term sheet, but I guarantee you, all somebody did was take a promotional agreement and change it to term sheet and try to get him to sign it. And I can prove that. I can prove it. I read it. I am a qualified expert on contracts. I promise you, that was not a term sheet. That was an fully executionable promotional contract. And the only thing they did was change the title to term sheet. I'm surprised that they didn't have a heading session in that contract. I'm surprised that they didn't have a heading section in it, where they say, regardless to the effect of, regardless of the titles of the sections or the naming of the sections, they are not related to the term. They are not related to the terms laid out therein. And that may be a little complicated, but trust me, people get you like that. They will put a heading over a section of an agreement and call it one thing, but in the way that it operates, it's something completely different. So what they did with Gary Russell Jr., and I'm telling you, this is what pissed me off. They did not send him a term sheet. That is not true. They sent him a fully executionable promotional contract, because they got the right to air a fight, an unknown fight, including Gary Russell Jr. for Devin Haney Promotions. That contract would have allowed them to take Gary Russell to any channel they wanted. And Gary Russell Jr. would have agreed to it if he agreed to that deal. No way should he have signed that. So do not tell me they ain't cap, because I know that's cap. I know that's the very definition of cap. When you put an agreement, when you take your promotional agreement, you change the title and put term sheet on it, but you don't change anything else. That's cap. Hugely cap. Hugely cap. And that is the thing that pissed me off more than anything else, because that is what people do to people that do not have the sense to take their agreements to an attorney. You have to take your agreements to an attorney. And 99% of these boxing contracts are contracts of adhesion. That was a contract, that was a promotional agreement and a contract of adhesion. 100%, in my opinion. So do not tell me dudes ain't cap. That was cap as you can get. Not as you can get, but god dog. I was like, what is this? Dude, they sent me it. And I read it. And I was like, what is this? What is this thing? He has the right to fight you. There's no date. There's no venue. I do believe there was a fixed fee. So you don't know how much the network is going to pay for the fight. You don't know what network it's going to be on. And I don't even believe it had Devin Haney's name in it. If I recall correctly, I could be wrong about this, that I don't even believe it had Devin Haney's name in it. I think it just said promote a fight with Devin Haney Promotions. And Devin Haney and Devin Haney Promotions are two different things. But that part I'd have to check again. But from when I read it like 2 years ago, I was like, man, that's not a term sheet. And I know it ain't a term sheet because I told everybody about term sheets. I said, look, how about you just do this? If you guys want to, you got a fight coming up because everybody knows Devin had a fight with Yuriorkis Gamboa coming up. It's just fact, which is exactly why he had a fight with him. I said, hey, man, why don't y'all just do a little term sheet? You guys can agree to the money. You can agree to the network. You can agree to the venue. You can just do whatever you guys need to know. You just do a non-binding agreement. So then when you guys actually have the time to sit down and do a real agreement, that you guys have already agreed to some basic terms. And then after that, you can just dot your I's and cross the T's. That's it. But that's not what they gave him. That's not what they gave Gary Russell Jr. And anybody saying that they sent him a term sheet is not telling the truth, because that is not the truth. Gary Russell Jr. should have said no to that. Should have said no to it. Just like if Tank Davis sent a contract, let me put it this way. If Gervonta Davis sends a contract to Devin Haney that is similar to the contract that Devin Haney saying Gary Russell Jr., there is no way Devin Haney signing that. I promise you, no way, no how is he going to sign that. He will be like, what is this? No. Immediately. A fixed fee with no date, no network, no date, no network, and you are signing an agreement to Devin Haney Promotions. It did not have the zone on there. It did not have, I don't believe it had a fight with Devin Haney on this date. Or no. Please don't tell me. Please don't tell me that ain't, man. Johnny said, shout out Zenith360 for saying it before me, and salute to John Boy and the rest of the chat. And my man in that super chat, John Boy said, DH, Anthony Forbes, Orlando Pearson, and Stone Alone, everybody else. What's going on, Stone Alone? I didn't see Stone Alone today. Let me get that gong for John Boy and Stone Alone. What's going on, Stone Alone? Devin ain't ducking a single one. They ain't ducking him. First of all, before I get to this, watch this. Devin ain't ducking a single one. Yes, he is ducking Shakur Stevenson. He absolutely positively is, bro. And the guy that he's ducking is Shakur Stevenson. Because they said he's not going to fight him until it's at 140 or 147. They'll fight when the time is right. Sounds like a duck to me. If Gervonta Davis said the same thing, I'm not going to fight Devin Haney. I'm not going to fight Devin Haney until I go up 2 weight classes. That wouldn't be a duck. Y'all, first of all, y'all call everything a duck. That's half the problem. Everything is a duck to y'all. Hey, Devin couldn't get Thor's hammer and crush an empty beer can. I think he could do it with Thor's hammer, bro. He said, Bud, business school logic. I mean, man, for real. Dude, I'm telling you, Orlando, I don't know if contracts are your thing or not, but I'm telling you, straight contract of adhesion. Straight up and down contract of adhesion. No free. All of the leverage were with them. Because they get to name the date. They get to name the venue. They get to negotiate the price of the fight. And Bill told me himself that Devin, now watch this. Watch this. And I have this on tape. Bill Haney said originally, in order for Devin and Gary Russell to make a fight with one another, that Gary Russell Jr. needed to sign a 2-fight deal with Devin Haney Promotions. Tell me I'm lying. You all are saying that Gary Russell Jr. ducked Devin Haney because he would not sign a 2-fight promotional deal with Devin Haney Promotions. Because Bill Haney told me, told everybody on my live stream that is the deal that he wanted. They wanted a promotional deal with Gary Russell Jr., and they wanted, in exchange for Gary Russell Jr. fighting Devin Haney, they wanted a 2-fight deal, a 2-fight option on him. And the logic was this: that's what all promoters do. If you are going to fight on a network and they're going to do that, and you're the A side, they're the B side, or whatever, they're going to want a 2-fight deal. And Gary Russell Jr. did not want to sign a 2-fight deal with Devin Haney Promotions. And that was after they called him out. They called Gary Russell Jr. out and then said the fight couldn't happen unless you sign a 2-fight deal with me. And then sent an agreement that was not about agreement. It was a promotional agreement. It was essentially a 1-fight promotional agreement. But you didn't even know when the fight was going to take place. Devin could have fought, if he would have signed that contract, Devin could have got his fight in with Uriokas Gamboa. Gary Russell Jr. could not fight because he signed a promotional deal with him. And then because of the terms related, because of the term down, Danny said, yeah, don't worry about it. Your mother takes care of me, bro. Don't worry about it. Your mama takes care of me. She got it all calmed down. Anyway, because he wouldn't take a promotional deal. If he would have taken the 1-fight promotional deal that with no date, with no venue, and I don't even think it had him listed as an opponent, Gary Russell Jr. could not take another fight, at least my reading on it. Devin could fight Uriokas Gamboa and then come back to Gary Russell Jr. and sell that fight to whoever he wanted to sell the fight to. Whether it was DAZN or ESPN or wherever, or BLK Prime, if there was a BLK Prime at the time, Fight TV, as long as they were offering more money to Devin than DAZN was. Do not tell me they ain't cap, calling that a term sheet. Since when is a promotional deal a term sheet? Just because you call it a term sheet. And y'all was capping and y'all was supporting that and you didn't even understand it. Y'all don't even understand it. And I mean it. And I said that a bunch of times. Y'all don't ever understand. You don't even understand it. Still don't understand it. But I got the agreement. Oh, my bad. Zenith 360 said Tank could send Devin an offer now instead of later. Would it matter? No. Devin could swap Loma for Shakur, so he might fight. That matters. But look, watch this. Tank could send an offer. Yeah, but he don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to send you an offer right now. I got to fight. You got to fight. I got to fight. I don't want to do that right now. That can wait. We're not fighting right now. Are you getting out on the Lomachenko fight or something? Why would I do that? That's like saying, yeah, let me pay my energy bill 3 months in advance. Yes, I could, but why would I bother? I guess I could, but so what? Could doesn't mean you got to. And just because you could do it doesn't mean you should do it. Could do it and should do it are two different things. Could do it and should do it are two different things. First of all, brother, what happens if you lose? We've struck an agreement to fight and you lost. You don't even have the belts no more. Why would I do that? Give me a good idea about why I should do it. Not could I do it, because I know I could do it. I literally could pull all my money out of my bank, get it in cash, and light it on fire. I could do that too. Just as you could do it don't mean you should do it. What does it gain? What does it gain, Tank? Nothing. Especially when you consider yesterday's prices ain't today's prices. Yesterday's prices ain't today's prices. If you know you're heading into a recession and you're like, hold on, man, price of housing is real high. I could pay $600,000 for that house across the street. Or since the economy is tanking and the interest rates are changing, I could wait until the interest rates drop, and I can wait until the housing market bubble busts and the price of the house goes from $600,000 to $200,000, and then I can swoop in and buy it for $200,000, and I've earned myself $400,000 in potential equity. Instead of buying the house right now, right, while it's $600,000, and then having it go down to $200,000, and now I've lost $400,000 in equity. Yes, I could do that, but why would I do that? Could do and would do are not the same thing. Could do and would do are not the same thing. Should Tank negotiate a fight with Devin Haney right now? Let's go through the pros and cons. Why would you do it? What benefit is it to Gervonta Davis? Or what benefit is it for Gervonta Davis to negotiate it right now when he knows that fight is not taking place? He's going to lock in Devin Haney's price. You're going to lock his price in. What if Devin Haney flops again? What if he flops? What if they put that on pay-per-view and Lomachenko and him go tooth and nail and he loses to Lomachenko and his value drops? Now he gave yesterday's price, ain't today's price. Why would he do it? There's almost no scenario in it where after Lomachenko and Devin Haney fight that his value is going to go up. Almost none. The price of Devin Haney is not going to go up. If anything, it's going to go down. If Gervonta Davis whoops Ryan Garcia and they do 1 million pay-per-views, guess what? Gervonta Davis's price goes up. Devin Haney's price relative to Gervonta's goes down. So why would I, even if I'm dead serious about fighting you, why in the world would I lock my price in with you ahead of time? Not could you, should you? No, you shouldn't. It's easy. No, you shouldn't. No, you shouldn't. You don't know what tomorrow brings. You shouldn't. John Boy said Devin could be driving an 18-wheeler and run into a fly and an 18-wheeler. The fly will walk away just fine. Hey, man, y'all don't believe in his power at all, bro. Ringside with LCD said, Fanon, they don't want the truth because they'll have to eat all the nonsense they put out to make their guy look good in any situation, no matter how much it doesn't make sense. Can't take them serious. No, you can take them serious. No, this is very serious stuff. It's very serious stuff. It's very, very serious stuff. Look, brother, I read the contract. That's not a term sheet. It is not. And it is not a non-binding term sheet. Nowhere in there does they say that this is non-binding. and there are mutual signatures at the bottom of the page, that is a binding promotional agreement. Because what does Devin Haney get? Devin Haney Promotions was negotiating in that deal for the right to promote that fight. If you read the agreement gives Devin Haney Promotions the right to promote a fight with Gervonta Tank, with Gary Russell Jr. That is a promotional agreement. Period. That is a promotional agreement. It is not about agreement. It is a promotional agreement. It is a contract between Gary Russell Jr. and the only other party to that agreement is Devin Haney Promotions. That's the only other party to the agreement. If the only party to the agreement is Devin Haney Promotions and Gary Russell Jr., and you say, I agree to allow you to promote a fight for me, that is a promotional agreement, because that is the consideration that they get. Gervonta, if there was 1.5, I don't recall if there was $1.5 million listed on there or not, but say there was $1.5 million there. That was the consideration that Gary Russell Jr. would have gotten for that. He gets $1.5 million for a fight that is promoted by Devin Haney Promotions. That is a promotional agreement. I do not care what you name it up top. Don't care. You can call it a mortgage. You could call it an indemnification agreement. You could call it anything you wanted. You could call it a snowball in hell. Doesn't matter what you call it. What matters is what you get. An agreement is an offer, an acceptance, and consideration. What was the offer? I offer you a fight for $1.5 million if I am able to promote that fight. What does Devin Haney get? The right to promote the fight. Or Devin Haney Promotions. What do they get? The right to promote that fight. What does Gary Russell Jr. get? Gary Russell Jr. gets $1.5 million for a fight yet to be determined. Gary Russell gives him the right to promote a fight that is yet to be determined, and Gary Russell Jr. gets $1.5 million for that fight once it happens. That is a mother-stinking promotional agreement. That is a promotional agreement. That is not a term, a non-binding term sheet. When something is non-binding, it will say non-binding. These terms are non-binding. It will say it. Why? Because if you ever go to a court and the judge looks at it and they say, these terms are non-binding, doesn't matter if you sign it or not. All you're agreeing to is the fact that that's where you were in your negotiation, but you agree that there's not going to be any damages associated with it. Right? This is basic contracts. Basic contracts. It doesn't matter what you call it. It matters what you do. And what did Devin Haney get out of it? His benefit of the bargain was the right to promote a fight with Gary Russell Jr. What was Gary Russell's benefit of the bargain or his consideration? It was $1.5 million when the fight is promoted by Devin Haney Promotions. That was not Not a term sheet. That was a binding promotional agreement for one fight. To be determined, because there was no date, no venue. No, and I don't think explicitly an opponent, but there may have been the opponent. Don't tell me that, man. I don't want to hear that. Anyway, also, if Tank says forget Ryan, what do you think? What do you want to take the fight, Dev? Is Ramadan still an excuse asking for a friend? If Tank says forget Ryan, do you want to take the fight, Dev? Is Ramadan still an excuse asking for a friend? I mean, brother, if Ramadan ain't an excuse now because he's going to be fighting during Ramadan. He ain't making the Ramadan excuse. Do you know what he was doing with Ramadan? He was trying to put pressure on Bob Arum. He's just trying to put public pressure on Bob Arum. That's what that is. And Bob Arum is 93. He could care less. Yeah, okay, say whatever you want in the press. See you in May. See you in May. Yeah. See you in May. See you in May. Just like when they said, oh, man, I don't have to fight George Kambosos. What did Bob Arum do? Yeah. See you in October. I'll see you in October. You're not getting out of Bob Arum. Okay? You're not going to get over Bob Arum on Bob Arum. You're not going to get over on Bob Arum. No joke. Not going to happen, brother. Not going to happen. Not like that. He is not going to invest his money in Devin Haney in a fight with George Kambosos, knowing more than likely Devin Haney is going to win and not have his T's crossed and his his I's dotted. It's just not going to happen. So you tell me who's capped. The guy that kept saying he didn't have to fight Gervonta Davis, and he didn't have to fight George Kambosos, but he had to fight him. Or the guy that says he doesn't have to fight Lomachenko, but he goes and fights him. Or the guy that says he didn't have to fight Yuriokas Gamboa, but he still went and fought Yuriokas Gamboa. It's just amazing how many times Devin Haney says that he doesn't have to fight somebody and the fight's not done. And everybody looks at him and be like, man, come on, man. You know the fight's done. But every single solitary time the fight is done. Man, that's a coincidence, ain't it? Man, that's a coincidence, ain't it? Ain't it? Ain't that a hell of a coincidence? I just want to know. Ain't that a coincidence? That every time Devin Haney says he doesn't have a fight made, even though that fight is scheduled, he turns around and has to have the fight that was scheduled, even though he said he didn't have to take the fight that was already scheduled. Right? Does that not seem a little funny to you? He doesn't have to fight Jojo Diaz. He can fight Gervonta Davis. But he fights Jojo Diaz. He doesn't have to fight Yuriokas Gamboa. He can drop out of that fight and he can fight Gary Russell Jr. But he fights Yuriokas Gamboa. He doesn't have to fight George Kambosos in the rematch clause because he can get out of that rematch clause. But yet he still goes, even though there's a date out there, he still fights on that date. Then he says he can fight in December against Gervonta Davis. He's available to fight. He tells Steven Espinoza that he can fight Gervonta Davis in December, but then turns around and says, I was cap. Obviously, you were cap. Obviously, because you fought in October. How are you going to turn around and fight in December when Bob Arum already said you're fighting Lomachenko? And then you turn around and you fight Lomachenko. And now you can fight Lomachenko. Watch this. Now you can fight Gervonta. You don't have to fight Lomachenko. But you can't fight Shakur. Because you can't make the weight. How does that work? How come you cannot make the weight for Shakur, but you can make the weight for Gervonta? How is this possible? I need to understand this. I don't understand it. And again, I'm not working from a premise that I want to convince you of. I'm working from the premise of everything that I'm hearing and seeing going on. How are you going to believe a guy that continually says things that wind up not coming to fruition, blatantly admit he was capping, but ask a guy who already has a fight, and Devin already has a fight, to send Devin a contract for a fight to take place after the fight that Devin already has? Why does Gervonta Davis owe Devin Haney that? Does he work for Devin or something? Does he work for him? Because Devin wants that, that means he has to give it to him? Or he's ducking? If Devin doesn't give, if Gervonta doesn't give Devin exactly what Devin wants, then Gervonta's ducking him, which means he can't wait till it is verified that Devin Haney is free to fight him before we talk about squat. Which is exactly what Calvin Ford said. I don't want to tell, we can talk about fighting you with George as soon as you let me know that you are free of that George Kambosos fight. Will somebody tell me what is unreasonable about that? For somebody to say, okay, you say you want to fight me, I want to fight you. You've got to tell me, though, because I've heard that you already have a fight scheduled. And they say, yeah, we can get out of that. And then they say, okay, let me know when you're out of that. Let me know when you're out of it. Not that you can get out of it. Let me know when you're out of it. And once you're out of it, once you're free, then we can talk. That's like somebody sitting there. That's like somebody, you talking with somebody's wife, and the wife say, hey, I'm going to get a divorce. And you tell them, oh, you're gonna get one? Oh, a man talking to a woman, that's probably better. A man tells a woman, oh, I'm going to get a divorce. Will you have relations with me? And she says to you, you're going to get a divorce or you are divorced. Oh, I'm going to get one. Well, how about this? I like you a lot. You got a lot going on. Let me know when you are divorced. Let me know when you are no longer married. At that point, maybe I'll go out on a date with you. But I'm not going to go on a date with you until you are divorced. Why? Because that's a lot of drama. I could get myself in a lot of noise with your wife, who is right now your wife. And I don't want that drama. I don't want her to come knocking on my door. I don't want people around town talking bad about me. Like I am trying to steal somebody's husband. Do not talk to me until you are divorced. By the way, that is a contract issue too. That's an issue of a contract because a marriage is a contract. And you are telling them, let me know when you're out of your obligations, and then you and I can talk about what we're doing. You tell me why Gervonta Davis can't tell that to Devin Haney. Everybody in the press, including a guy that is promoting, is your promoter. Well, he's not my promoter. He's a co-promoter. Dude, it doesn't matter if he's your promoter or not. He's your promoter. You are your promoter. He's your promoter. If he's a co-promoter of you, he's a promoter of you. You just got two of them. Okay? Just like if there was polygamy and you got more than one wife, they're both your wives. That's my wife. That's my wife. I'm a polygamist. Or I have two children. That's my child. That's my child. Just because I have co-children doesn't mean you're not my child. So whether you want to say Devin Haney is in a co-promotional deal or not, it doesn't matter. Bob Arum is his promoter. He has obligations and responsibilities vis-a-vis Top Rank. So what is wrong with Gervonta Davis saying, you let me know when you're free? I'm not sending you no offer. You got a promoter. That may be tortious interference from contractual relations. And I mean it. What happens if they send him an offer and Bob Arum sues him? And they say, like, what do you mean? Why are you suing me? Because you sent Devin Haney an offer for a certain amount of money to fight under GTD. And you know that I am under a promotional agreement, that Devin is under a promotional agreement with me. Do you realize and tell me I'm lying, that Eddie Hearn cannot send a fight contract to a fighter that is signed by another promoter? That is tortious interference with contractual relations. You can't even talk to them because you are trying to tempt them into breaking an agreement that they already have with somebody else. So do you think Gervonta Davis is duty-bound to commit tortious interference with contractual relations in order to make Devin Haney happy and give Devin Haney leverage over Bob Arum? Somebody tell me I'm lying, bro. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me that the PBC did not, that Leonard Ellerby did not straight up threaten Eddie Hearn for talking about sending an offer to Gervonta Davis. If you think about sending an offer for a fight with somebody I'm promoting, I am going to sue you for tortious interference with contractual relations. So you want Gervonta Davis and GTD to send an offer to somebody they know already has a fight scheduled and and by their own admission is in a promotional deal, whether there's a co-promotional or otherwise, with the most litigious, that means gonna sue your ass, litigious promoter in boxing. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense? And if he doesn't do it, he's ducking. Moment of silence. Let that sink in. Moment of silence. Let that sink in. Haney's game plan, everybody is capped, everyone is dodging, and the Haneys are the victims of everything, but Haney makes the most. Okay, idiots. Look, man. I need much love in that super chat, bro, and Dwayne Moore in that super chat. Thank you, brother. I want to understand if anybody's ever heard of that, bro. Rick Tim's going ahead and say it for me one time when you're on the topic. Devin Haney, Devin Haney, Devin Haney. I just want to know if he has to do that, bro. I just need to know if he needs to do that or he's ducking. Send the contract to Devin Haney while Devin Haney is already under contractual obligation to Top Rank. Risk a lawsuit from Bob Arum for tortious interference with contractual relations, in which Devin Haney is not a threat because Devin Haney received the offer. He received the offer. He didn't send the offer. He received the offer. They can't send Devin Haney a contract. Hey, Rachel, don't air. Are you there, Rachel? Let me not do that because I don't want to pull anybody in here. Excuse me. Do. Hold on. To prove Torch's interference with an existing contract, you must show that, and these are called the elements of it, a contract exists between you and between you. We know that. Let me see if this fits this element. Do we know that a contract exists between Top Rank and does Gervonta Davis know that a contract exists between Devin Haney and Bob Arum? The answer to that is yes. A third party willingly and intentionally interfered with that contract. So the contract exists. Did a third party willingly, yes, and intentionally interfere with that contract? Yes. Because they are making an offer to Devin Haney that may prevent Bob Arum from making another fight with Devin Haney while he is under contract. Yes. And you suffered damages as a result. Damages does not necessarily mean money. Damage could be public perception. You have driven up my price. You have changed. You have made people, my stockholders, my company, believe that the fight that I'm going to make is not happening. As a result, I have people threatening to pull out of fights, threatening and doubting my ability to follow through on my contractual relations. There's a million arguments that you can make to say that you suffered damages as a result. That is called tortious interference. Now that's in Texas, but it's pretty much a tort, and that's that everywhere. Okay? That's that everywhere. Tell me I'm wrong. That's cap. That is cap. Asking this man, and guess what? Guess what Calvin Ford said? Calvin Ford said, let me know when you're out of the contract. You can pay your way to get out of that contract. Right? I can tell you how you can do it. You got to buy your way out. If you buy your way out and they approve it, then we're good. He's already been to my show, True Steel. He's been to my show. This is why I don't even understand why y'all are bothering debating me on this. I know the truth about the matter. Calvin Ford said, I will fight you if you get out of that agreement. And when you get out of that agreement, holler at me. Sorry about that, brother. Tortious interference with a contract or business relations. I hate you, man. T. Orlando Pearson with the full definition. Thank you very much. Tortious interference with a contract or business relations. And my God, if you go that to business relations doesn't even mean that you have to have an existing contract. But I don't know. But like I said, that is a litigator right there. I'm not the litigator. He's the litigator. So, no, brother, you can't do it. Okay? You can't do it. So do you think that it is fair to call Gervonta Davis a duck for something that would put him at risk of civil liability to Top Rank and Bob Arum? Do you think that he should send Terrence Craig? Do you really think he should? That's why I said, could he? Yes. Should he? Heck no. He shouldn't. Should he? No, he shouldn't. And I'm telling you, I would tell, that's why they said, let me know when you're out of your contract. Let me know when you're free. As soon as you're a free agent, we can holler. That's why Eddie Hearn did not send any offer at all to Gervonta Davis until Gervonta Davis said in public, I am a free agent. I am no longer signed with Mayweather Promotions. Then and only then did Eddie Hearn send him an email talking about, I'll offer you $10 million for a fight with Ryan Garcia. Only then did he do it. Only then. Other than that, you can't do it. You can't do it. Or you can do it. You can do it. So it is a true statement that you can do it. But I would never do it. Would you do it? Would you do it? Would you? Now, how much money do you think Bob Arum's going to clip him for? Restitution, reliance, expectations, punitive, all of those different bases of damage. You don't know what Bob Arum's going to do, bro. So no, man, he can't do that. He can't send him the contract. And again, that was not a term sheet, brother. I'm telling y'all, that was not a term sheet. That was a promo. Oh, snap and super snap. What? For real? Somebody out here hefty. Whoa, my bad. I got a bunch of super chats, bro. I'm missing it. Ron Clark said, man, y'all cash apping today. Thank you, brother. Ron Clark, much love in that super chat, brother. Much love in that super chat, bro. Much love in that super chat, bro. Yes, bro, you can't do it, man. You can do it, but you really shouldn't do it. If he sends that contract, now watch this. Who did? Now watch this, and I'm going to tell you the difference because I know what y'all going to say. Well, why could Gervonta Davis negotiate with Hector Garcia and Ryan Garcia at the same time? Why? Can anybody tell me the difference? Tank can set up a fight now with Devin. No, he cannot. No, he cannot. He has to set up one with Bob Arum. Incel, much love in that super chat. Big $10 holler. No, he's got to send the contract to Bob Arum. He has to negotiate with Bob Arum. Not Devin. Bob Arum. He has to pick up the phone. He has to call Bob Arum. Bob Arum. You have to call the promoter. And that's Bob Arum. Bob Arum. The reason that he could send one to Gervonta is because he sent it to Oscar De La Hoya. He did not send that contract, did not send that contract. Did not send that contract to Oscar De La Hoya. To Ryan Garcia. He sent it to Oscar De La Hoya. If he sends an agreement, he got to send it to Bob Arum and Devin Haney Promotions. But he's got to send it to Bob Arum. And you're going to have to convince Bob Arum that Bob Arum needs to give up the benefit of his bargain and allow Devin Haney to leave, which is a conversation that needs to take place between Devin Haney and Bob Arum. At the end of the day, it always goes to Bob Arum because Bob Arum is his promoter, not his sole promoter, but his co-promoter. Isn't this a lot of drama? So why would you even waste your time doing that when he already has a fight? And Bob Arum already said he didn't want it because Bob Arum said, we've already got a bunch of good fights on this side. We've already got a bunch of good fights. Come on, y'all. Y'all got to be a little bit more fair. Look at it from being like, for real, for real. For real, for real. And yesterday's price ain't today's price. So why would he do it? He wouldn't do it from a financial point of view because you don't know what's going to happen with Gervonta the next fight. Guess what Tank Davis did not do? Guess what Ryan Garcia did not do? Ryan Garcia did not have a fight between the time that Tank signed that deal and Ryan fought. He didn't fight another one. He didn't even take a chance to lose. He didn't even take a chance. He didn't even take a chance to lose. For now, you dropping words of contractual elements. Every rule has elements. Elements are the things that you have to satisfy to enforce the rule. It's how you break down a rule. Good morning, OG. Checking in from Clearwater, Florida. What's going on, man? Land of some of the Clearwater. Hey, man, ain't that the land of Keith Thurman and great tennis players? Much love to Incel, brother. Tank will fight Garcia, then Devin. Maybe. I don't see it happening, brother. I'm not going to lie, Incel. Much love in that super chat, bro. I don't see it happening, brother. Cal L. Cooling in the building. Much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you, man. He said, for always keeping it 100, Cal Cooling. Yeah, man, you got to, brother. You got to keep it a buck, man. You got to keep it a buck. You got to keep it a buck, man. You try your best to anyway. Incel again said, great show. I learned something today. Thank you, brother. Bro, you cannot look. It's just not. Yeah, Thurman from Clearwater, just like Mark Breland. Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, I knew y'all had some fighters down there in Clearwater, Florida. I just couldn't remember. And doesn't Antonio Tarver, is Antonio Tarver from there? Or he's from Tallahassee or something? Aaron Muhammad, look at the guarantees Jose Ramirez had with Top Rank. They pay those fighters well. They pay. I was nodding off. I had to write that down. No, I mean, seriously, man. There's a difference between can you do it and should you do it. And nobody is obligated to make a dumb decision to make Devin Haney happy. You're not obligated to do it. No joke. You're not obligated to do it. Now, if you say you accept the fight, though, I agreed to everything and you don't show up, that's a duck. Because he had agreed to terms. I agreed to terms. Then I changed my mind. That's a duck. But not doing exactly what it is that your potential opponent wants you to do, that doesn't mean it's a duck, bro. Haney is doing everything he said, taking his stands, said Haney fight couldn't happen because of the zone, yet they managed to chase down and offer Ryan this fight twice. Tank said his stance that Haney fight couldn't happen because of the zone. Who said that? But guess what? Who is going to pay for the fight? Who is going to pay? You think that they were going to let Devin Haney go where? To fight Gervonta? That fight's not going to be on pay-per-view, or they needed a zone pay-per-view. They got a zone pay-per-view. And also, Ryan Garcia pushed the zone into that. But if you say so, he offered, yes, he absolutely did offer a fight to Ryan Garcia. You know why? Because he wanted it. The fight with Ryan. So what? And that's a big D-hive. And do you think because he's fighting Ryan Garcia, that means he has to do the same thing for Devin? Or he's ducking? He doesn't. Ryan Garcia, and here on top of it, it's who's cap. Ryan Garcia, Gervonta's telling you very flat out why. Why? Oh, and stop. Let me back up and rewind that. D-Hive. Let me rewind that for a second. This is why you got to let people know what you're going to say, what your evidence is ahead of time, so that they have a right to judge your evidence and evaluate your evidence. So I take a second, right, and I'm going to evaluate your evidence. D-Hive. Who was the promoter of Gervonta Davis when Devin Haney was with the Zone? I got you, brother. I'm going to move back. The answer was Floyd Mayweather Jr., brother. It was Floyd. It was Floyd. AP Fresh said Devin won't fight Gary or Shakur. He might fight Frank. No, he's not. Oh, he might fight Tank because it's a bigger payday, cash check, and a risk for Gary, Shakur, and Tank will beat Devin easy. I don't know if he will or he won't. I think it's a good fight. But look, man, Gervonta Davis was signed to Leonard Ellerbe and Floyd Mayweather Jr. at the time that Devin was with the Zone. And Floyd Mayweather Jr. and his promoter told you point blank why they would not do that. Because Devin's not a draw. That's not cap. They told you. Very blatantly. They said Devin is a very good fighter. Devin is not a draw. You all think it's a big fight. It's not a big fight. Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Mayweather Promotions, we're interested in making big fights. Devin's not a big fight. Ryan is a big fight. Now, let's also look at this. Did Devin Haney, now DAZN, watch this. DAZN made the fight between Ryan and Gervonta, correct? Ryan Garcia, DAZN made the fight between Gervonta Davis and Devin, right? And Ryan. Ryan and Gervonta Davis. They agreed to it, right? What happened when Devin wanted to fight George Kambosos? What did DAZN do with that one? Excuse me, let me do this again. When DAZN had an opportunity to make Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, they made the fight. When it was Devin Haney and George Kambosos, what did they do? They let the fight happen. They just said they didn't want anything to do with it, and they let Devin Haney go. They're not letting Ryan Garcia go. They're not letting Ryan Garcia go. That is a function of Ryan being a bigger draw than Devin. And DAZN valuing Ryan more than they valued Devin. Because they would not make that fight. They let Devin go to Top Rank. And they say, hey, maybe we'll see you sometime later. That's just a harsh reality, man. That's a harsh reality. It's just a harsh reality. DAZN may not have let the fight with Tank and Gervonta happen. Right? With Devin and Gervonta happen. Because they may say, what's in it for us? What's in it for us? We're not going to put a lot of money up for that fight. For what? What happens if Devin wins? All we got is Devin. We don't have Tank. If Ryan wins, they still got Ryan. Y'all kind of want to ignore. You want to ignore business when it is convenient. But you bring up business when it's convenient. Like, why won't he fight Shakur Stevenson? I know the subject today has to do with Haney, but dang, that kills all the views and the super chats. Haney talks, same as Haney fights, drugs, and it don't do it. Yeah, I know it don't hit, bro. It don't hit. I know it don't hit. But we had to do it, bro, because I think that was a fun conversation. Because it's a fun conversation. And plus, we'll be back tomorrow, man. We talk every day, bro. Watch this. Smoke and Mirror said, Fanon, stop hating on a Muslim brother. I don't know what Devin did to you. You need to stop the hate, fam. It's preposterous. What's good? I'm sorry. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Look, clown, I'm not Muslim. First of all, smoke and mirrors. You can get out of here. Because I'm not Muslim. He's not my Muslim brother. I'm not Muslim. And you're a troll. And Devin didn't do anything to me. But neither did Gervonta. Check the super chat. My bad. I think I got the super chat, man. Hold on. I'm not Muslim. He's not my Muslim brother. I'm not Muslim. What's that got to do with it? What's that got to do with it? Cornballs, bro. Oh, AP Fresh. Oh, I got the super chats, brother. Thank you. Or you made me check the super chat. Yes, sir. Incel back at it. Oh, no, I got Incel on that one. Thank you, brother. Yeah, I checked it. Thank you, brother. Check the super chat. I got the super chat. Thank you, brother. You're running a little bit behind, man. Oh, Fanon, also stop race baiting. Yeah, I forgot. Thank you. I'll also stop race baiting. And if they bring up the Muslim stuff when they want to stop you speaking the truth, that's foul. Religion has nothing to do with it. It has, I'm not Muslim. So what does that have to do with me? It goes into the big old category. It goes into this gigantic category called, that ain't my problem. It's not my problem. It's not my problem. And neither does them being black have anything to do. Matter of fact, for all I know, Gervonta could be Muslim. I don't know. Calvin Ford is Muslim. Calvin Ford is Muslim, ain't he? Calvin Ford is Muslim. So why you hating on him? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, for real, if I'm not Muslim, you're not my Muslim brother. You may be my brother to the extent that anybody's my brother. But God dog, man, what's that got to do with me? Your religion is in that category of that's your problem, not mine. Jack Boxing Jaguar in the building. Much love for the $5 holler, brother. Thank you for the support, bro. Said this is not a place for that. Yeah, that's like means for real. It has nothing to do with it. You're just trying to guilt trip people, bro. It takes two to make a super fight. Yeah, but Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis is not a super fight. It's not one. Let me reiterate. It's not one. You all act like it's a super fight. It's not. It's not. This is Errol Spence Jr. versus Sean Porter. That's not a super fight. You got one star and a fighter that people know. It's not a super fight. This is Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez. It's Canelo versus David Benavidez. That's about the best that you can give it. Canelo, David Benavidez. That's it. Errol Spence Jr., Josh Taylor. Errol Spence, Josh Taylor. If Josh Taylor had all the belts, Errol Spence, Josh Taylor. That's it. That's not a super fight. It's not Floyd Terrence Crawford. It's not. And even that is questionable whether or not it's a super fight. Just a real big fight. I'm Muslim and there's nothing wrong with Fanon spitting facts. No, first of all, that is King that did that. That's King that did that. If I had to say that I was any religion specifically, I'm raised Christian. There's a bunch of Christians in the United States, and I don't like a whole lot of them. I'm Christian, and so is Joe Biden. I'm Christian, and so are a whole bunch of Klansmen. Benavidez selling out arenas, what you mean, Fanon? Yeah, it's still not a big fight. What you want me to say? I mean exactly what I say. David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez is not a super fight. It ain't. It's not. It's not. Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Manny Pacquiao is a super fight. Oscar De La Hoya, Tito Trinidad, super fight. Floyd Mayweather, Ali versus Frazier, super fight. Oh, you said, oh, shout out, King. I missed that one. Yeah, you missed that one, man. Hey, Fanon, you should make the it's not one pose and phrase with a shirt and emoji. I mean, it's not one. What you want me to tell you? It's not one. It's not one. Can you give me an example in the current era? Errol Spence Jr. and Canelo Alvarez. Errol Spence Jr. and Canelo Alvarez. Super fight. Huge fight. Huge fight. If Errol Spence Jr. goes to 160 and meets Canelo Alvarez at 160, that is a huge fight. And let me tell you why that is. Because it's two different demographics of people. You have the Mexican fans and you've got the Black American and Mexican fans. That is a super fight when you have everybody coming to watch. AJ and Wilder was a super fight. Spence and Canelo is a super fight. There you go. That's it. The closest one to that, though, maybe Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. If they had let it marinate. If Ryan Garcia had, let me put it this way. If Ryan Garcia had fought George Kambosos, it would be a super fight. Hey, watch this. If George Kambosos had not fought Devin Haney and he had fought Ryan Garcia, this would be a super fight. Because you know dang well, they be calling that man undisputed. Y'all, let me tell you my ruling of what the WBC thinks about their belts would be out the window. Because you don't have a vote about who their champion is. And you better believe that would be a super fight. That right there. Because peanut butter and chocolate like a mug. Peanut butter and chocolate like a mug. Like a champ. Like a champ. Because you got the black, well, actually, you kind of got, it'd be like vanilla. It'd be like vanilla chocolate. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like white chocolate peanut. It'd be like a white chocolate peanut butter cup. So, but, dog, come on, man. Devin got to get his weight up, bro. There ain't no way around it, bro. Now, let me tell you what Devin need to do, bro. Devin got to get his weight up, bro. Devin just got to honestly get his weight up. You got to honestly get your weight up. Honestly, man. Honestly, bro. You got to honestly get your weight up. I don't know what else I can say. You got to honestly get your weight up. You can't fake like your weight is up. Come up with a bunch of arguments for why your weight is up. People ain't buying that belt stuff because guess what? We don't get to hold them belts. Them cats don't care about belts like that. Like, for real, they care about the fighters that they choose to care about. At the end of the day, do you know what one of the biggest – hey, can anybody tell me the last pay-per-view that did over – the last pay-per-view that did over 1 million pay-per-view buys? Can somebody tell me the last pay-per-view that did over 1 million pay-per-view buys? Boxing match that did over 1 million pay-per-view buys. Zenith 360, I believe, and if I'm wrong, you can correct me, but I believe that the last one was, and if you put the name in of who I'm thinking about, it'll tell you a lot. Zenith 360 said when Devin went to the zone, Tank had not fought at 135 yet. His first fight at 135 was Gamboa. Then Haney fought him. Then Devin had 2 mandatories. Then timeline matters. There was no point when they were aligned. Hey, much love in that super chat, bro. Yeah, and that's what, again, what I'm saying when you're debating. Yeah, I mean, for real, you got to give your information out ahead of time so people can verify the facts that they can verify themselves and know what facts you're going to use so that they can be prepared. And also, you need a rebuttal. You need a rebuttal. Whoever goes first should go last. That's my suggestion. Whoever goes first should also go last. So it shouldn't be because isn't that, I believe that's how that works in court. If you have a direct examination, right, which means you're pretty much presenting facts and making an argument through questions, right? But it's basically the same thing. The person that goes after you always has the benefit of knowing what you said. So, but, right, they know that they have the benefit of what you said. So they can counter your point based on what you said. So they then give the other person the opportunity to come back and do what I do believe is called a redirect. Direct, right? Then they get a redirect. And that is how you adjust for the fact that going first is a disadvantage. When you lay out what your thought process are and then have somebody have the ability to react to it on any in particular subject. So just for your consideration. Also, my man True Steel said, hey, Fanon, I'm a casual, but I'm always on your platform. On my other page, Christian Albert. Oh, that's what's up. Anyway, if Devin knocks out Loma, does that raise his stock for his next fight? Thank you for the stock. Oh, hugely. Gigantic. Does wonders for him. Does wonders for him. Thank you. Direct, cross, redirect. Thank you very much. The direct examination, the cross examination, and the direct and the redirect. And the reason that you get the redirect is because the cross has an advantage because they went second. And they know your argument and they're kind of counter you. So you get a chance to clarify anything they may have bust you out for. And if you do that, I think that's more fair. He said, yes, open and close unless you reserve all for close. I love having a thank you. Yes, open and close unless you reserve all for closing. Gotta like it, brother. You should consult with T. Orlando Pearson on how to have a fair debate. No joke. Rules of evidence, I would say include the rules of evidence. That's why I don't like to do debates, because you need to have rules of evidence, which is if you are saying something, the people that are judging it should be able to know whether or not, be able to tell you whether or not that is a valid fact or not, because the other side gets that access to that information ahead of time. You forgot recross T. Orlando. I don't know, man. Like I said, I ain't a litigator any in my area, and I'll speak stupid from time to time. Damn near all of Floyd's exhibition boxings did. No. The last fight, not an exhibition. Well, I guess it was an exhibition too. The last one that I know of literally doing 1 million is Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones. Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones is what started all of this exhibition, really kicked this exhibition stuff into overdrive. Well, actually, the first one was, even though it wasn't technically speaking an exhibition, was Floyd versus Conor McGregor. But the one that I was thinking of, and like I said, you may be right, I may be wrong. The one that I was thinking about was Mike Tyson and Roy Jones, because people are going to want to see that because they want to see them. You can't fake the funk. People want to see who people want to see, bro. People want to see. Yeah, he said, Adam, yeah, it said it keeps going back and forth. There you go. There you go. Appreciate it. Thank you to the litigators that are out there. And again, like I said, tortious interference with contractual relations, contracts, or business relations. Thank you very much. Yep, so that did $1 million. Yep, 1.6 million. Yeah. The big fights are the people that people want to see. You can't fake the funk. The big fights are the ones that people want to see. Hey, IBKJ said Fanon, Bud and David Applesauce did allegedly 1 million pay-per-view buys after a while, according to my sources. No joke though, bro. Y'all made a great argument for and I mean this, and I want to say this 100%. Dog, there were some really, really good arguments made in favor of Devin Haney not being the biggest cap in the world. So I do have to tip my hat to that. I have to tip my hat. Really, truly. Y'all need to keep them dudes. You need to keep all them dudes close to y'all. Y'all need to keep that close to you. I'm going to tell you right now, you need to keep that close to you because that's very skilled. And almost had me convinced. Floyd, I mean, I'm telling you, almost had me convinced. Oh, and that's hard because I had to think about it for a second. No, that's interesting. Anyway, so salute to everybody over there on Knockout TV. Special shout out to BFTB. Because BFTB makes very, very solid arguments. That's my dude. No joke. No joke about that. Yeah, they did. That's a crazy number. Floyd retired, came back. Yeah, exactly. But guess what? People stole that video, stole that too. So all this talk about nobody being able to steal things back in 2017. Like, nobody could steal things back in 2017. Like, are you serious? Like, are you for real serious? Like, okay, yeah, that's what's up. Y'all the man on that. Who you thought won last night? I don't know. Also known as boxing. Black Adam said, yep. Direct, cross, redirect, recross, all that. Like I said, man, I'm not a litigator, have zero experience in that. And what I remember from law school about it, I've forgotten. Okay. And actually, I don't even think they really teach. I don't think they teach you that. I don't really think that they do that. If I can recall correctly, I don't think I learned that there. If I did, I forgot, like tax law. Like, God, dog, I failed tax law so bad. They gave me a D, though. But God, dog, I bombed tax law. Thinking I could wait around and study that. Oh, my God. Out of a code book, couldn't make it. Ghost said, the arguments for Devin not being capped are easy to debunk, but were structured well. Devin fans, I give it to y'all, but that ish still elementary. I mean, it's just a tough argument to make, bro. It's a very, very tough argument to make, bro. I didn't watch. I'm tired of Haney yet. It's an argument that sucks, bro. Dude, yeah, the people saying that people were not like, oh, it's way easier. People are really stealing now. That's just, hey, guess what I watched? Guess what I watched? Ja Morant. I watched a highlight video of dunks by Ja Morant. I have to ask you, do you think that Ja Morant has, how tall is Ja Morant? Somebody tell me how tall Ja Morant is. How tall is Ja Morant? I don't know how tall he is. How tall is he? Yeah, so it's tough, but you can make it if you want. I mean, sometimes you got to make an argument. Yeah, how tall is he? How tall is he? Man, you guys should go check out Knockout TV and them debates. That was really good, bro. I enjoyed it. Let me see how tall he is, because y'all being a little slow on the draw. Like 6'2" or 6'3"? Yeah. Okay. So he's 6'2". He's 6'2". Ja Morant. Ja Morant's hops are not better than old boy from Houston who's 6'1". Do you guys remember that guard? Do you remember that guard? Oh, you skipped my super chats and live chats. My bad for. Oh no, Jay Mills. No, I appreciate you telling me. Let me go back. Hold on one second, because my wife is going out of town. Hold on one second. I gotta come right back. Hold on. Sorry about that. Yeah, I am. Thank you, babe. I got it. Thank you. Hold on one second, man. Yeah, my wife is going out of town. Her mother-in-law, not her mother-in-law. I'm sorry, because that would be my mother. Oh man, I got to do something too, man. I'm gonna Dwayne Moore in the building. Let me go. I'm gonna write it here. Jay Mills. I'm gonna read everyone from over here. By the way, I got to do a 10 count for my cousin. So man, I need y'all to say some prayers for my mother and my cousin and my other cousins who has had a cousin pass away yesterday. My cousin Billy Madison out in Wichita, Kansas. Rest in peace to my cousin, my big cousin who passed. Hold on one second. Jay Mills, I'm going to read them from here, brother, so I can make sure I get you. I don't know if I hope they came through. Jay Mills said, yes, sir, Fanon. All I ever hear is the Haney say about fighting Shakur is quack, quack, quack. Yes, sir. I missed that one, brother. I'm so sorry. All I hear is him say, I'm sorry, Fanon. All I ever hear Haney say about fighting Shakur is quack, quack, quack. Exactly. I mean, exactly. And I think that's it. I think that's the one, Jay Mills. So I'm gonna go on that. I'm gonna go on that for a while, bro. Man, Jay Mills. Much love, Jay Mills. Where is that? Okay, let me go down. Jay Mills. Sorry about that, brother. Much love in that super chat. Yeah, but there's a guy named, what's the guy's name? Steve. I forget his name, bro. Steve, the guy that wound up getting on, played with Catino Mobley. Bro, his hops is not better than his. If he's listed as 6'3", I'm going to tell you that dude right there, dude, don't tell me that like people have like generated and turned into different people, because Ja Morant got dumb hops. But that point guard that used to play for the Houston Rockets, the one that played next to Catino Mobley and made the All-Star game a couple times, bro, that dude's hops is Stevie Francis. Bro, Stevie Francis hops just like that, bro. Just like that. And by the way, Michael Jordan's a little taller. Michael Jordan's like 2 inches taller than that. But dude, whoa, do not tell me that his hops are better than Michael Jordan's. There's literally nothing he's doing that I ain't seen Michael Jordan do. Nah, Nate, not Nate. I'm just talking about like somebody that was doing those dunks. Yeah, thank you, man. I got to get a 10 count to my cousin, Billy Madison. Rest in peace, Billy Madison. Yeah, only person I see that I've seen has hops like that I think may have hops like Vince Carter, maybe that kid in the kid out there in what's that kid's name in What's that kid's name? Zion Williamson. Zion got a lot of power, but he got a lot of explosion. But I don't know really anybody that got more hops than Vince Carter was like, I mean, that's just his heart, his bananas, bro. Oh my God, Gerald Green had crazy hops, bro. Gerald Green had really dumb ones, bro. Like, what? Yeah, man. But even him, I'm not gonna give him over Vince Carter. Because Vince Carter was God dog, bro. Yeah, Steve Francis, yeah, he's dumb, man. It's unfortunate he got on that, whatever he had, man. Lee says, sorry for your loss, brothers, and prayers. Condolences to you and your family. Yeah, he was in he's been in hospice for like 6 months. My cousin's a lot older than me, man. My cousin was in his my cousin's in his 70s. So he wasn't young. Like I'm in my 50s. That's my oldest living cousin is Billy. So he's like, yeah, he's much older, man. He's a lot older than me, and he had been sick for a while. But yeah, man, it is what it is, man. But anyway, man, look, man, I'm gonna bounce up out of here, man. Much love to everybody in the chat. Oh yeah, Ronnie Fields too, but he never made it to. I mean, dude, I'm trying to tell you, my boy, so deep. I'm gonna tell you right now, dog. I don't know many people got better hops. When this dude's so deep that comes to the channel, I'm telling you, bro, I don't know if any, like, dude, he's not he ain't a basketball player, primarily a basketball player. He was in track. He's a high jumper, a long jumper, and a triple jumper. And I'm promising you, bro, I don't know if any of these dudes, the only dude that I'll say that I think that I know for sure got more hops, maybe Mike Conley's dad. Mike Conley's dad. But then again, Mike Conley's dad is like 6'2", and So Deep is like 5'8". So it's like, I'm telling you, man, his hops were so stupid. This dude's hops were so stupid. Like, it just stupid. But, you know, you see that. I saw a kid playing, I saw a kid in Texas playing the other day, bro. I was like, what? Dude, this hop's just stupid. You know, they got a lot of cats that can jump. But to be able to jump and play basketball, that's different, brother. You know what I mean? That's different. But anyway, man, much love to everybody again. Special shout out to KO Boxing, Boxiana, my guy, all day, every day. BFTB Boxing is the best. And BFTB wins every debate and was right about everything that he said. That's my dude. You know what it is. I had to just give these guys props, man, because I hope more and more people like really do watch that when they do that in the evening, because it's really fun, man. It reminds me of the time when this channel used to have these trivia contests at night. You know what I mean? They used to have Marlowe's Corner used to have trivia contest at night, man. And it's just really fun. It's really interactive, you know, and then cats stole their idea and started doing it. And, you know, like, I just hope don't nobody steal KO's idea, because like y'all brought me to that, man, and I loved it, brother. It was very, very hard for me to not sit there, bro. No, I didn't forget Ja Morant. I brought up Ja Morant. Ja Morant's hops are god awfully ridiculous. No, dude, his jump speed and reckless disregard. Hey, man, it's something to see. But Sean, like, she's kind of, you know what he's like? He's like a 6'2" Sean Kemp. He's like a 6'2", 6'3" Sean Kemp. That's what he reminds me of. A 6'2", 6'3" Sean Kemp. But Sean Kemp will do that, but Sean Kemp's like 6'11". So you ain't doing nothing with it. You know what I mean? Like, he's like Sean on the break. He looks like Sean Kemp. Like I would love to see somebody like Sean Kemp play today, where they like focus on plyometrics all the time. Because that dude, without all that plyometric training, just being the dude that he is, was dumb, bro. Oh my God, man. Ja is no way. Derrick Rose versus AI and AI. First of all, Ja Morant is no AI, and he ain't no Derrick Rose. So you can stop both of that. He's not as good a player. Ja Morant ain't no AI now. You're going to have to show me that. You're going to have to show me that one. But anyway, it is what it is. And with that, I'm up out of here. Much love. Shout out to all the trolls, the bots, and the Haney lurkers, like my man Creole TV says. But with that, I'm out. I got a biz ounce, bro. Yeah, man. Kemp used to yam on him, brother. But I'm out. Holler at you.